Chapter 506. Qingfeng, come in quickly. At this critical moment, Jian Shun took out the purple crystal coffin again. Withstanding the destructive power that was enough to kill them, he hid inside the crystal coffin with Yi Chunfeng and Jin Xing Dragon Bloodline. Rumble. The tidal wave of destructive power bombarded the crystal coffin, causing it to tremble violently. Tiny cracks could be seen spreading across the surface of the coffin. Although Yi Chunfeng and Jian Shun managed to escape with the help of the crystal coffin's terrifying defensive power, the explosion of spatial destruction was too terrifying. The crystal coffin, which had a defensive power comparable to a supreme grade heaven artifact, could shatter at any time. Sword Puppet, we're counting on you. Take us out of here. Sensing that the crystal coffin wouldn't be able to hold on for much longer, Yi Chunfeng immediately gave the invincible sword spirit puppet an order. He ordered it to drag the crystal coffin and forcefully pass through the storm of destruction, flying towards the outside of the cave. Rumble. At the same time, another earth-shattering explosion came from the cave. Yi Tianjuan's cave was being destroyed by the space around him at a rapid pace. Once Yi Tianjuan's cave was completely destroyed, not to mention the crystal coffin, even a Dao artifact would be destroyed. No, the sword puppet's flying speed is not his forte. If we continue to run at this speed, we'll die. Yi Chunfeng saw more and more cracks on the crystal coffin. Waves of destructive power were pouring in through the cracks. He immediately became anxious and tried to think of a solution. Jian Shun, Dragon Bloodline, wait for me in the crystal coffin. I'll go out and take the crystal coffin. Yi Chunfeng gritted his teeth and clenched his fists. No, it's too dangerous. Jian Shun tried to stop him. Don't worry, Jian Shun. I can still protect myself. Besides, we have no other choice. Sitting here and waiting will only speed up our deaths. We can only give it a try now. Yi Chunfeng said firmly. With that, Yi Chunfeng ignored Jian Chen's objections. He erupted with great power and forcefully pushed open the crystal coffin that Jian Shun had sealed. He appeared in the space that was filled with destructive power, filled with cracks, and had collapsed. Kacha. Appearing in the space of destruction, Yi Chunfeng's fleshly body, which was comparable to a high-grade heaven artifact, could not withstand the baptism of the destructive power. It immediately ruptured and a large amount of blood flowed out. Fiend God Bloodline, ignite Fiend God Body. Seeing that his physical body was about to be destroyed, Yi Chunfeng did not hesitate to burn his divine demon bloodline and transform into his divine demon body. While greatly increasing his physical defense, he unleashed a force of 20 million Jin, constantly tearing apart the destructive storm in front of him. He quickly flew away with the crystal coffin and sword puppet. Bloodline of the Golden Rock, burn! Seeing that the space behind him was collapsing faster and faster, and that it was about to devour him along with the crystal coffin, Yi Chunfeng, who was under immense pressure, immediately ignited his Golden Rock bloodline, increasing his flying speed as he fled with the crystal coffin. Crack! Yi Chunfeng flew away with the crystal coffin and sword puppet for 15 minutes. Then, the sound of space rupturing could be heard. A 10,000-meter-long spatial fissure that resembled a black dragon appeared, blocking Yi Chunfeng's path. Yi Chunfeng's flying speed was greatly slowed by this terrifying spatial crack. The space that was constantly collapsing and destroying was closing in on him at a speed visible to the naked eye. Sword puppet cross. At the critical moment, Yi Chunfeng shot out the sword puppet, allowing the sword puppet to cross the destructive spatial fissure. As for himself, when the sword puppet was forcefully crossing the spatial fissure, he stepped on the sword puppet's body with the crystal coffin. He endured the destructive power tearing his body apart as he forcefully crossed the spatial fissure. Boom! With the help of the sword puppet, Yi Chunfeng forcefully crossed the spatial fissure. The destructive power was like a raging sea as it ruthlessly bombarded this 10,000-meter-long spatial fissure. Immediately, the entire space collapsed, returning to its original state of nothingness. Yi Chunfeng, who had slowed down because he was crossing through the spatial crack, was struck by this world-destroying storm. His body, which was comparable to a top-grade heaven artifact, was badly mutilated, and a large amount of blood spurted out from his mouth. Blood chi ignition, wind riding technique. With his body heavily injured by the destructive storm, Yi Qinfeng did not hesitate to burn his blood chi energy, continuing to increase his speed as he rapidly flew between life and death. The entrance of the ruined cavern. Seeing that the heavily injured Yi Qinfeng was about to be swallowed up by the destructive storm, he finally saw the entrance of the ruined cavern through the chaotic space. Boom! Seeing that Yi Qinfeng had escaped from the ruined cavern, an earth-shattering sound of destruction rang out. The cavern, which had collapsed and destroyed a large area of the cavern, was completely destroyed. Endless destructive power swallowed Yi Qinfeng. Chaotic force break. Seeing that Yi Qinfeng was about to be swallowed up by the destructive power, 5 streaks of chaotic force shot out of Yi Qinfeng's body and tore open a path of escape. Although the path of escape opened by the chaotic force was instantly swallowed up by the destructive power, Yi Qinfeng seized this fleeting opportunity and rushed out of Yi Tianjuan's cavern with the crystal coffin that was about to shatter under the protection of the sword puppet. Boom, 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 boom. The moment Yi Qinfeng rushed out of the cavern, the entire cavern was destroyed. The terrifying destructive power struck Yi Qinfeng, shattering the crystal coffin and sending Yi Qinfeng, who had nowhere to hide, flying 1,000 meters away. His body, which was comparable to a supreme-grade celestial artifact, was almost destroyed. Well, you're not dead yet. You're really lucky. Mo Fengyun, who had already escaped from the ruined cavern, saw Yi Qinfeng rushing out of the destroyed space at the last moment. His face instantly turned gloomy as intense killing intent shot out from his eyes. But this is for the best. I'll kill you with my own hands, and everything you have will be mine. Thinking of the many secrets and treasures Yi Qinfeng had, Mo Fengyun and the Crimson Bloodbat both flew towards the heavily injured Yi Qinfeng. They wanted to kill him while he was injured and take everything he had. Chaotic roar. As Mo Fengyun and the Crimson Bloodbat approached, the chaotic divine beast released its strongest power. It let out an earth-shattering roar that pierced through the chaotic space and struck towards Mo Fengyun and the Crimson Bloodbat. Dragon's energy. The heavily injured Jinxing Dragon Bloodlion appeared beside Yi Qinfeng at this moment. It burned its dragon bloodline and released a terrifying dragon's energy. Dark Dao Spear break. Facing the attack of the chaotic divine beast and the Jinxing Dragon Bloodlion, Mo Fengyun did not dodge. Instead, he held the Dark Dao Spear in his hand and faced it head-on. The spear that was filled with 40 Dark Dao inscriptions broke the attacks of the 2 heavenly beasts and allowed the ferocious Crimson Bloodbat to launch a fatal attack on Yi Qinfeng. Chaotic energy break. As the Crimson Bloodbat attacked, Yi Qinfeng released the remaining 5 streaks of chaotic energy. They bombarded the Crimson Bloodbat at close range. TSK, TSK, TSK. The extremely sharp, chaotic energy pierced through the Crimson Bloodbat's sound wave attack like a hot knife through butter. It penetrated its body and injured it. Then, the 5 streaks of chaotic energy continued to attack Mo Fengyun, who was behind the Crimson Bloodbat. Mo Fengyun did not expect Yi Qinfeng to have such a trump card. He was careless and was injured by the chaotic energy. Jian Shun, take care. We will meet again if fate allows it. With that, Yi Qinfeng grabbed the opportunity when Fengyun and the Crimson Bloodbat were injured and forcefully controlled the universe mirror to keep the Jinxing Dragon Bloodline inside. He continued to burn the Golden Rock's bloodline and vital energy as he flew out of the chaotic ethereal paradise in extremely fast speed. He was trying his best to shake off the pursuit of Mo Fengyun and the Crimson Bloodbat. Take a look at Uni-chan's picture and add her WeChat account, YLTY83. I'll post it tonight. Remember the URL, Sandwich Chinese Network. Chapter 507. Kid, leave your life for me. Mo Fengyun quickly consumed a heavenly healing elixir and stabilized the wounds on his body. He leaped onto the Scarlet Bloodbat, which was roaring in pain, and chased after Yi Qinfeng with all his might. Primordial chaos roar. The chaos divine beast was not injured. As Mo Fengyun chased after Yi Chenfeng, it constantly released powerful roars to attack Mo Fengyun and the Scarlet Bloodbat, forcefully slowing down their pursuit. As for Yi Chenfeng, who was on the brink of death, his potential was stimulated bit by bit under the threat of death. He flew faster and faster, not giving the Scarlet Bloodbat a chance to close the distance. More than 2 hours later, Yi Chenfeng, who was shrouded in a thick blood aura, returned to the periphery of the ethereal immortal realm. He rapidly flew towards the shortcut exit of the ethereal immortal realm. Crack, the crack that leads to the outside world. Soon enough, Yi Chenfeng flew into the periphery of the ethereal immortal realm. The terrain was complicated, and the mountain range was filled with ancient trees. He saw a strange spatial crack deep in the mountain range, and this crack was the only shortcut to leave the ethereal immortal realm. Divine Devil Bloodline, Dragon Bloodline Ignition, Divine Devil Body, 20 million kilograms of strength burst. As Yi Chenfeng rapidly approached this spatial crack, he unleashed his full strength without holding back, instantly raising his strength to its peak. 7 Swords of Judgment, Sun Eclipse, the Tao of Heaven, the Tao of Sword, the Tao of Thunder, and the Tao of Slaughter were all infused into the king armament. A sword light that was as bright as the sun pierced through the sky, bringing with it the power to destroy everything, and slashed at the spatial crack. The moment Yi Chenfeng made his move, the sword puppet, which was burning a large amount of soul crystals, also made its move. The man-weapon unity slashed out. Crack! After receiving the all-out attack from Yi Chenfeng and the sword puppet, the spatial crack that sealed the array pattern immediately broke, revealing a powerful spatial power. 10 Directions, Heavenly Devil Slash. The moment Yi Chenfeng and the sword puppet worked together to tear the spatial crack, Mo Fengyun, who was chasing after them, slashed out a huge cross devil slash, which cut open the spatial crack and slashed at Yi Chenfeng. Let's go. When the 10-directional heavenly demon slash came, Yi Chenfeng and the sword puppet accelerated and flew into the spatial rift, disappearing from the chaotic ethereal wonderland. Boom! The moment Yi Chenfeng disappeared, this spatial crack was struck by the 10-directional heavenly demon slash, and it started to tremble violently. Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat. Let's chase. When Mo Fengyun saw Yi Chenfeng disappearing into the spatial crack, he didn't hesitate and followed the Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat into the spatial crack. They continued their pursuit of Yi Chenfeng, determined to kill him. If he couldn't kill Yi Chenfeng this time, with his talent and foundation, once he matured, he would bring a devastating disaster to Mo Fengyun and the Western Devil Sect. This was something Mo Fengyun didn't want to see. Boss, can you still hold on? Yi Chenfeng flew out of the ethereal wonderland while enduring the immense spatial pressure. His injuries worsened again and again. The blood that flowed out of his body had already dyed him red. Sensing that his injuries were getting worse, the Chaos Divine Beast asked anxiously, "Don't worry, I can still hold on." Yi Chenfeng quickly drank a mouthful of the water of heavenly fate and recovered his exhausted soul power. He quickly flew towards the northern part of the ethereal wonderland, thinking of a way to shake off the pursuit of Mo Fengyun and the others. It's him. He actually didn't die. The moment Yi Chenfeng flew out of the ethereal wonderland, Mo Qianli and the others, who had already left the ethereal wonderland, discovered him. Seeing that Yi Chenfeng actually managed to leave the ethereal wonderland alive, they were all shocked. While they were still in shock, Mo Fengyun flew out on the Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat and continued to pursue Yi Chenfeng. It's Sect Master. He's chasing that brat. Could it be that the brat obtained the greatest opportunity of the ethereal wonderland? Looking at Mo Fengyun and Crimson Bloodbat disappearing into the horizon, Mo Qianli and the others had an unimaginable thought in their minds. They were stunned on the spot. Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat, quickly ignite your bloodline power. If that brat escapes, we will never have a day of peace in the future. Mo Fengyun kept urging. Boom! Boundless blood light burst out from the scarlet blood heavenly bat's body. After igniting its bloodline power, the scarlet blood heavenly bat's flying speed soared once again. It slowly closed the distance between Yi Chen-feng and itself. However, when they forced their way closer, the Chaos Divine Beast continued to release powerful sound waves to attack the Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat. The sound waves and the Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat's sound waves fiercely repulsed each other in midair, forming a destructive force that engulfed the heavens and earth. With the help of the Chaos Divine Beast, the Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat was still unable to catch up to Yi Chen-feng. However, Yi Chen-feng was also unable to shake off their pursuit with his speed. Just like this, they relied on their incomparably strong willpower to chase and escape through the 9 heavens at extreme speed, crossing an extremely vast area. The mountain range is like a dragon, surrounded by fog, and surrounded by 3 mountains. Finally, I have found the Cloud Dragon Mountain. Looking at the dragon-shaped mountain range that was surrounded by fog, Yi Chen-feng took a deep breath. He suppressed the worsening injuries on his body and flew into the Cloud Dragon Mountain with extreme speed. The reason why Yi Chen-feng flew all the way to the Cloud Dragon Mountain was because Fu Qingshan had told him that there was a teleportation array hidden in the Cloud Dragon Mountain. If he wanted to shake off Mo Fengyun and the Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat's pursuit, he had to use the teleportation array. As expected, there is an array pattern restriction hidden in this mountain. The heavily injured Yi Chen-feng followed the route that Fu Qingshan had given him. When he flew into the depths of the mountain range with complicated terrain, he discovered the array pattern restriction. He did not hesitate to use his full strength to break through the restriction and flew inside. And what is in that restriction? Mo Fengyun, who was chasing relentlessly, also felt the power of the array pattern restriction in the Cloud Dragon Mountain. When he thought about how Yi Chen-feng had fled all the way here, his face instantly turned gloomy. He immediately went through the restriction with the Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat and followed closely behind Yi Chen-feng. Teleportation Array. The moment he flew into the array pattern restriction, Mo Fengyun saw the teleportation array engraved on the ground. It was shining with white light. At this moment, Yi Chen-feng had already appeared on the teleportation array. He formed a complicated hand seal and fused it into the teleportation array, forcibly activating it. Seeing that the teleportation array was about to activate, Mo Fengyun jumped high on the Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat. His entire body fused with the supreme-grade heaven artifact, Long Spear. He launched a fatal attack at Yi Chen-feng with the Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat. He wanted to kill Yi Chen-feng with all his might and not give him a chance to teleport away. Sword Puppet, defend. At the crucial moment, the Sword Puppet, which had fused with enough energy, blocked Mo Fengyun's dragon-like long spear. It forcibly blocked the fatal attack. Vermilion Bird Cauldron, attack. The next moment, the Vermilion Bird Cauldron flew out of Yi Chen-feng's body. Accompanied by the Chaos Divine Beast's world-shaking roar, it bombarded the Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat's body and blocked its attack. Teleportation Array, activate. After forcibly blocking Mo Fengyun and the Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat's ultimate attack, Yi Chen-feng quickly summoned the Sword Puppet and the Vermilion Bird Cauldron, successfully activating the teleportation array. Following a white light that shot into the sky, Yi Chen-feng disappeared into the teleportation light before Mo Fengyun and the Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat could reach him. The moment he disappeared, a huge explosion sounded. The 4 self-destructing rocks that Yi Chen-feng left in the teleportation array exploded at the right time. The terrifying explosion destroyed the teleportation array and cut off Mo Fengyun's chance to chase after him. In the midst of great danger and death, Yi Chen-feng successfully snatched food from the tiger's mouth. He snatched the biggest opportunity in the ethereal immortal realm from Mo Fengyun and escaped. Mobile reading website, book address. For your convenience, you can click on the save button at the bottom to record your reading history. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 508. Kacha. A strange spatial crack suddenly appeared in the sky above a lush forest filled with rugged rocks and towering ancient trees. A large amount of spatial energy leaked out from the crack, forming a terrifying storm. Suddenly, a bloody figure appeared from the spatial crack. Like a rapidly falling meteorite, the figure fell from the spatial crack and smashed into the ground, creating a huge crater in the hard mountain ground. Phew, I finally made it out alive. A heavily injured man, covered in blood, looked at the unfamiliar space and environment around him and let out a long sigh of relief. Then, his eyes turned black and he fainted. This heavily injured man was none other than Yi Chen-feng, who had forcefully escaped from Mo Feng Yun and the Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat's pursuit through the spatial teleportation array. The reason why Yi Chen-feng was so heavily injured and fell into the spatial crack during the teleportation was because he had detonated 4 self-exploding stones during the teleportation, causing the spatial teleportation power to become unstable. In addition, the teleportation formation on the other side had already been destroyed, causing Yi Chen-feng to experience a narrow escape during the teleportation formation. He almost lost his life in the teleportation formation. Although Yi Chen-feng had managed to survive, the Chaos Divine Beast, Golden Clear Dragon Bloodlion, and Space Devourer had all been heavily injured during the process of breaking the spatial wall. They had all fallen into a coma. The sword puppet had also consumed almost all of its high-grade and peak-grade soul crystals. There wasn't much energy left in it. Time passed day by day. Suddenly, the blue sky was filled with dark clouds, and heavy rain fell from the sky. Yi Chen-feng, who had been unconscious for several days due to his heavy injuries, woke up. Mo Feng Yun, you didn't kill me this time. Wait until I recover from my injuries and increase my strength. I will definitely overturn your Western Devil sect and kill you with my sword. The heavily injured Yi Chen-feng quickly consumed 2 heaven-level soul elixirs and forced himself to sit up in the heavy rain. He swore to himself. Yi Chen-feng circulated the soul-devouring secret art and silently inspected his body. He discovered that his injuries were much more serious than he had imagined. His body was severely damaged. His meridians and internal organs were severely damaged. More importantly, there were still traces of space force that constantly damaged his body. It would take at least a month for him to fully recover. He was only left with 2 balls of life spirits that had the ability to revive life and death. Before his life was in danger, Yi Chen-feng wasn't going to waste the life spirits. He decided to recuperate in this mountain forest for a period of time and disperse the spatial power. He was going to rely on the life Tao pattern to slowly recover his overdrawn body. Sword puppet, get me out of here. With a thought, Yi Chen-feng summoned the sword puppet, whose energy was almost depleted, and brought him away from the crater. They found a secluded cave and hid in it to take shelter from the rain and recuperate. Damned spatial energy. After entering the cave, Yi Chen-feng could feel the remnant spatial power in his body continuously destroying his body. He quickly controlled the Chaos Divine Wood to devour the spatial power. Pom, pom, pom. After being devoured by the Chaos Divine Wood, the spatial power immediately backfired, causing Yi Chen-feng's body to constantly explode. The powerful explosion blasted Yi Chen-feng's body, which was comparable to a high-grade heaven artifact, into a bloody mess. His meridians were ruptured, and his physical body was once again severely damaged. Meridian replenishing herb, 10,000-year-old blood jade ginseng. As his injuries continued to worsen, Yi Chen-feng immediately consumed 2 heaven-class soul elixirs. While stabilizing his injuries, he grasped the 2 spiritual items that he had obtained previously. He plundered the spiritual attributes in them to repair his ruptured meridians and depleted blood. Slowly, the Chaos Divine would devour all the remnant spatial power in Yi Chen-feng's body. Yi Chen-feng fainted again due to his severe injuries. It was unknown how much time had passed, but the unconscious Yi Chen-feng felt his mouth being gently pried open by someone. A spiritual herb was stuffed into his mouth, which turned into a large amount of pure spiritual energy and entered his body through his throat. Ooh, who saved me? Yi Chenfeng, who had been unconscious for several days, slowly opened his tired eyes. A round baby face appeared in front of him. A very cute little girl, who was wearing a coarse cloth gown and had a chubby little face, was blinking her big watery eyes as she looked at him. Ah, you're awake. Seeing Yi Chenfeng suddenly open his eyes, the little girl let out a long sigh of relief. Her big eyes curved into the shape of a crescent moon, revealing two small dimples as she spoke in a sweet voice. Thank you. Yi Chenfeng forced himself to sit up and looked at the little girl's cute little face as he spoke weakly. Big brother, what did you encounter in this valley? How did you suffer such heavy injuries? The little girl tilted her head and looked at Yi Chenfeng, who was covered in blood, and asked curiously. As she spoke, her eyes occasionally drifted to Yi Chenfeng's hands. Most of the spiritual attributes of the meridian replenishing grass and the 10,000-year-old blood jade ginseng had been consumed. I was chased by a very terrifying heavenly beast. Yi Chenfeng did not tell the little girl the truth and casually made up a story. Heavenly beast! The little girl's long eyelashes trembled as she said in surprise, Big brother, you are so powerful. You actually have the ability to escape from a heavenly beast. If I had encountered a heavenly beast, I would not have been able to survive. Why are you interested in the 2 stalks of spirit grass in my hands? Yi Chenfeng noticed that when the little girl was speaking, her eyes were always on the 2 stalks of spirit grass in his hands. The little girl lightly bit her rosy lips and said somewhat embarrassedly, Since you saved me, I'll give this meridian replenishing grass and 10,000-year-old blood jade ginseng to you. Yi Chenfeng had an inexplicable good impression of this cute little girl and gave her the meridian replenishing grass and 10,000-year-old blood jade ginseng. Thank you. Receiving the meridian replenishing grass and 10,000-year-old blood jade ginseng, the little girl was so excited that her face was flushed red like a big ripe apple. Damn, a divine beast. There's a divine beast here. Just as Yi Chenfeng was silently controlling the life Tao pattern to heal his injuries, the chaos divine beast suddenly woke up and let out a cry of surprise. Divine beast! Yi Chenfeng raised his eyebrows and released all the soul power in his mind, covering a few miles. He asked with his mind, Where is the divine beast? This little girl in front of you is a divine beast. The chaos divine beast sensed repeatedly and said, No. To be precise, she has the blood of a divine beast flowing in her body. Hundun, are you sure you are not mistaken? Why can't I feel anything special about her? Yi Chenfeng released his soul power and sensed repeatedly, but he did not sense any divine beast aura in the little girl's body. He asked suspiciously, This is the connection between divine beasts. If I'm not wrong, this little girl has the blood of the divine beast, golden eye divine ape flowing in her body. She should be a life born from the union of a golden eye divine ape and another race. The chaos divine beast said, Hundun, how powerful is this golden eye divine ape? Yi Chenfeng raised his eyebrows and asked in surprise. The golden eye divine ape is not an ordinary divine beast. It is a mutated divine beast. It is considered good if one is born every 10 million years. Once the golden eye divine ape reaches maturity, the power it contains is enough to destroy the world. It is also an overlord among the divine beasts. This little girl not only has the bloodline of the golden eye divine ape, but there is also a mysterious bloodline flowing in her body. However, that bloodline does not belong to a divine beast, so I can't identify it yet. However, the golden eye divine ape is very arrogant and will never combine with an ordinary bloodline. Therefore, the other bloodline in her body is definitely not of a low grade. Once the 2 bloodlines in her body awaken, her strength will increase rapidly and rapidly. Boss, you must not miss this opportunity. It is not a coincidence that she is here. It might be related to a big secret. Before her bloodline inheritance is fully awakened, you have to woo her, and make her follow you wholeheartedly. That way, you will have a powerful helper in the future, and you will have a chance to share her secrets. the Chaos Divine Beast suggested. Yi Chen-feng, mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 509. Big Brother, what's wrong with you? Why are you looking at me so strangely? The little girl blinked her big watery eyes and looked at Yi Chen-feng, who was staring at her with a burning gaze, and asked coquettishly, Nothing. Yi Chen-feng rubbed his nose awkwardly. He looked away and asked, Little girl, what's your name? Where are you from? This forest doesn't seem safe. Why did you come here? My name is Ling Yu, and I'm a disciple of the Xiaming sect. I came here to look for food. Ling Yu pouted her small mouth and explained while eating the 10,000-year-old blood jade, ginseng, with relish. Why? You don't have enough to eat in the Xiaming sect? Yi Chen-feng's eyes lit up, and he asked patiently. Well, the food they gave me was disgusting, and they didn't give me the delicious food. In order to not be hungry, I could only come here to look for food. Ling Yu stuffed the entire 10,000-year-old blood jade, ginseng, in her mouth and stuffed her mouth full. She nodded and said, Ling Yu, is this the delicious food you were talking about? Yi Chen-feng asked with a smile as he took out a spiritual grass from his chinkoan ring. The spiritual grass was full of slender leaves, and it was green all over. It was full of spirituality. 3,000-year-old, 7-star grass. When a spirit fish saw the jade-green grass in Yi Chen-feng's hand that was emitting traces of spiritual energy, its eyes lit up as it spoke excitedly. Ling Yu, I have a lot of spiritual grasses like the 7-star grass. If you don't want to go hungry, follow me in the future. I promise to let you eat until you're full every day. As he spoke, Yi Chen-feng took out several 1,000-year-old spiritual grasses that exuded rich spiritual qi. He looked at Ling Yu, whose eyes were wide open and was bursting with joy, and asked temptingly, Big Brother, why are you so good to me? Don't tell me you have some ulterior motives? Although the 1,000-year-old spiritual grass in Yi Chen-feng's hand was a fatal temptation to the spiritual fish, the intelligent spiritual fish's eyes revealed a trace of vigilance. It took 2 steps back and questioned Yi Chen-feng. Ling Yu, do you think I'm a bad person? Yi Chen-feng's face turned slightly red. He smiled bitterly and said, You're my benefactor. I won't harm you. I just feel that you're very similar to my sister. That's why I want to take care of you and not let you go hungry. I look like your sister. The spirit fish blinked and looked at Yi Chen-feng. But we don't look alike at all. How could I look like your sister? Yi Chen-feng was rendered speechless by the spirit fish's question. He did not know how to explain. Forget it. If you don't want to follow me, I won't force you. Here, take these 7,000-year-old herbs. Yi Chen-feng knew that pestering her would only backfire. He didn't force her and generously gave her the 7,000-year-old herbs. Ling Yu, I'm going to recuperate. Take your time to eat these 1,000-year-old herbs. You can ask me for more when you're done. Yi Chen-feng spoke softly and continued to tempt her with the herbs. Thank you. Holding the 7 stalks of 1,000-year-old spirit herbs that Yi Chen-feng gave her, the spirit fish had a complicated look in her eyes. However, the temptation of the 7 stalks of 1,000-year-old spirit herbs was too great. After hesitating for a while, she did not return them to Yi Chen-feng. But in her heart, she had a trace of favorable impression of Yi Chen-feng. Boss, you are indeed capable. I think it won't be long before this young lady will follow you wholeheartedly. The Chaos Divine Beast opened its mouth and transmitted a message using its mind. Stop talking nonsense. Protect me. Remind me if there's any danger. Finishing his words, Yi Chen-feng consumed a heaven-class soul elixir and sat cross-legged on the ground. He removed all distracting thoughts from his mind and controlled the 20 life Tao patterns to slowly heal his injuries. While Yi Chen-feng was recuperating, the spirit fish, who had eaten 3,000-year-old herbs consecutively, had an intoxicated look in her eyes. She didn't leave, but curled up and fell asleep in the cave. Just as the downpour gradually stopped, Yi Chen-feng, who was fully focused on recuperating, suddenly opened his tightly shut eyes. He looked out of the cave and revealed a trace of grave expression. The spirit fish, who was sleeping soundly, was also awakened. Her tender face revealed a trace of fear as she spoke anxiously. "Big brother, that strange tree is chasing after us. We have to leave this place quickly. If we are late, we might be in danger. Don't be afraid. Follow me." Yi Qianfeng slowly stood up and brought the panicked spiritual fish out of the cave. They came to the humid valley and saw a 5-meter-tall tree with dragon-like ancient vines coiling around its trunk. An old face could be vaguely seen in the trunk of the tree. There were more than 10 spiritual fruits on the tree, and the ancient tree was emitting a strong demonic aura. It moved the muddy mountain and approached them at an extremely fast speed. "Big brother, this tree demon is very powerful. Let's escape quickly." Seeing the tree demon getting closer, the spirit fish was so frightened that her face turned pale. She quickly pulled Yi Qianfeng's hand and wanted to escape. "Don't be afraid. Leave everything to me." The tree demon in front of them might be extremely dangerous, and Yi Qianfeng's current strength was not enough to deal with it. But with the chaos divine wood, he wasn't afraid of the tree demon. He held the spirit fish's ice-cold hand tightly and spoke calmly. "Despicable human, how dare you steal my spirit fruits while I was sleeping? I will suck your blood dry and kill you." The tree demon let out a human-like roar. Thousands of roots as black as ink broke through the hard mountain, forming a prison of roots, trapping Yi Qianfeng and Yi Qingtang inside. Chaos divine wood. Just as the tree demon trapped Yi Qianfeng and the spirit fish and was about to launch a fatal attack on them, the chaos divine wood appeared on Yi Qianfeng's body and released a glaring 5-colored light. What kind of spirit wood is this?" The tree demon, who had spiritual wisdom, instinctively felt fear when it saw the chaos divine wood. It forgot to attack for a moment. Chaos divine wood, devour! While the tree demon was still in fear, the chaos divine would condensed a large number of 5-colored roots and stabbed into the root prison like sharp swords. It crazily absorbed the spirit energy contained in the roots. In the blink of an eye, a large number of roots were sucked dry by the chaos divine wood and completely withered. When the wind blew, they turned into dust and scattered with the wind. "Despicable humans, I'll let you go today." After seeing how terrifying the chaos divine wood was, the tree demon did not dare to stay any longer. It quickly collected the remaining roots and swayed its lush tree crown as it escaped at an extremely fast speed. "Big brother, you're so powerful. You managed to chase away such a powerful tree demon." When the spirit fish saw the ferocious tree demon turn around and escape, it let out a long sigh of relief and said excitedly. The moment the chaos divine wood appeared, the spirit fish was attracted by the spirit energy released by the chaos divine wood. It became closer to Yi Qianfeng and had a feeling that it did not want to leave him. "Let's go, spirit fish. Let's leave this place." After saying that, Yi Qianfeng led the spirit fish out of the humid valley and came to the periphery of the forest. At this time, the sun was setting in the west and the sky was gradually darkening. The dazzling sunset reflected the sky red. "Big brother, it's getting late. I have to go." The spirit fish raised its head and looked at the sunset in the sky and said reluctantly, "Spirit fish, this forest is a little dangerous, and my injuries are too serious. I want to go with you to recuperate. Is that okay?" Yi Qianfeng thought for a while and asked, "Big brother, I'm only a servant disciple in the mysterious underworld sect. If you go with me, you might suffer." The spirit fish bit her lips and said, "It's okay. I'm not afraid of suffering. I just want to find a safe place to recuperate." Yi Qianfeng shook his head and said, after knowing the spirit fish's situation in the mysterious underworld sect, Yi Qianfeng was secretly happy. The worse her sense of belonging to the mysterious underworld sect, the more likely she would go with him. "Okay then, let's go." The spirit fish hesitated for a while before bringing Yi Qianfeng out of the humid forest and back to the mysterious underworld sect in the night. Mobile reading website, book address, To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 510. The mysterious underworld sect was one of the 3 major factions in the Western Continent's Black Nether County. It was a 6th-grade sect and was located at the edge of the Black Nether Mountain Range. It controlled a large area of cultivation resources in the Black Nether County. Big Brother Qingfeng, the mysterious underworld sect, is in front of us. I will bring you in through the side door. As long as we're not discovered, it is the safest place to recuperate. The spirit fish pointed at the brightly lit sect that occupied a large area in the dark sky and said softly, "Don't worry. Don't worry. As long as I don't want to be discovered, no one will be able to discover me." Yi Qinfeng might not have recovered from his injuries and was far from being a match for the Reverse Beast King, but his soul spirit was unprecedentedly powerful. Under the cover of his soul spirit, he would be able to detect even the slightest movement. Therefore, he was not afraid of being exposed. Yi Qinfeng followed the spirit fish to the huge courtyard wall of the mysterious underworld sect. Through the lush shrubs, he found a gap that was half the height of a person. The spirit fish usually used this gap to enter and exit the mysterious underworld sect. After passing through this gap, Yi Qinfeng followed the spirit fish into the mysterious underworld sect that was shrouded in darkness. They arrived at the outskirts of the mysterious underworld sect, where the servant disciples lived. It was a somewhat messy courtyard. "Big Brother Qingfeng, my room is in front. Other than me, there is no one else in the room. Normally, as long as you hide inside and recuperate, no one will discover you." The spirit fish pointed at a dilapidated stone house in front of them. There is someone in the room." Yi Qinfeng followed the spirit fish's finger and looked at the stone house she lived in. However, he felt that there was someone hiding their presence in the dark stone house. It was obvious that this person was plotting something against the spirit fish. However, he did not point it out and followed the spirit fish into the stone house. The moment Yi Qinfeng and the spirit fish entered the stone house, a white light suddenly lit up and illuminated the dark stone house. A man in a black robe with a malicious expression on his face, a level 1 mystic beast ancestor, was holding a moonstone in his hand. He was looking at the delicate and cute spiritual fish with a faint smile. However, when the man in black saw Yi Qinfeng behind the spiritual fish, the smile on his face froze. A strong, murderous aura emanated from his body and locked onto him. "Lingyu, how dare you? Not only did you leave the sect without permission, but you even brought an outsider to our mysterious underworld sect. Do you believe that I will report this to Elder Chu and get him to punish you?" The black-clothed man's face darkened as he threatened coldly. "Su Mingwei, why are you in my room? Besides, you don't have to worry about my business." Lingyu gritted her teeth as she glared at the black-robed man. However, there was a trace of panic in her eyes. "Lingyu, I'm giving you one last chance. Be obedient and dual cultivate with me. This way, not only can I help you keep your secret, I can also give you some benefits. Otherwise, you can just wait for Elder Chu's punishment." Su Mingwei noticed the panic in the spiritual fish's eyes. He revealed a smug smile and threatened. However, Yi Qinfeng, who was severely injured and had a weak aura, was completely ignored by him. Hearing Su Mingwei's shameless conditions, the spiritual fish's face turned red. She couldn't wait to strangle this disgusting person to death. "Don't be anxious. Leave everything to me." Yi Qinfeng smiled faintly and walked towards Su Mingwei with heavy steps. "Why? Do you want to fight? Do you know the consequences of fighting here?" Seeing Yi Qinfeng walking over step by step, Su Mingwei revealed a disdainful smile and rudely warned Yi Qinfeng. "Extreme ancient heavenly water ice seal." As soon as Su Mingwei finished speaking, Yi Qinfeng ignored the injuries on his body and forcefully released a trace of the extreme ancient heavenly water's power to attack Su Mingwei. Although Yi Qinfeng was severely injured and couldn't unleash the full power of the extreme ancient heavenly water, Su Mingwei was only a grade 1 mystic beast ancestor. He couldn't withstand the extreme, ancient heavenly water's ice seal at all. In the blink of an eye, Su Mingwei was frozen into an ice sculpture by the extreme, ancient heavenly water. He revealed a terrified expression and lost his ability to move. Soul Search. After freezing Su Mingwei, Yi Chunfeng immediately released his powerful soul force into Su Mingwei's soul spirit. He forcefully searched Su Mingwei's soul spirit and obtained all his soul spirit memories. This Su Mingwei's identity is not bad. It suits me perfectly. After forcefully obtaining Su Mingwei's soul spirit memories, Yi Chunfeng revealed a faint smile. Su Mingwei was an outer sect disciple of the Stygian underworld sect. He had a reclusive personality and was extremely shrewd. Although his strength was one of the best among the outer sect disciples, he didn't reveal his true strength. He was only waiting to accumulate enough strength to soar to the top. Furthermore, Su Mingwei didn't have any special background or friends. He was a loner and was very suitable for Yi Chunfeng to disguise himself as. Illusion Dao Pattern. Yi Chunfeng stared at Su Mingwei for a few minutes. 20 illusion Dao patterns appeared on his body and fused into his face, transforming into Su Mingwei's appearance. Unless someone in the Stygian underworld sect had a stronger soul spirit than Yi Chunfeng, they wouldn't be able to see through Yi Chunfeng's face that was transformed by the 20 illusion Dao patterns. Big Brother Chunfeng. Seeing Yi Chunfeng turn into Su Mingwei, the spirit fish was so shocked that its eyes widened and its mouth gaped open as it exclaimed, "This should be safe, right?" Yi Chunfeng revealed a faint smile and said. Finishing his statement, Yi Chunfeng forcefully released a wisp of black, blazing heavenly fire and injected it into Su Mingwei's body through the ice. It immediately burned Su Mingwei into ashes and disappeared from this world forever. All right, spirit fish. Don't be shocked. I am going to recuperate. You should eat the 1,000-year-old spiritual herb and rest early. Finishing his statement, Yi Chunfeng walked to a corner of the room and sat cross-legged on the cold ground. He controlled the life Dao pattern to continue his recuperation and heal his injuries bit by bit. Time passed day by day. Because of Yi Chunfeng's continuous supply of 1,000-year-old spiritual herbs, the spirit fish wasn't afraid of starving and was able to eat until it was full every day. Other than doing some odd jobs, it would spend the rest of its time sleeping and absorbing the spiritual energy contained in the 1,000-year-old spiritual herbs. In the past 10 days, the spirit fish had eaten no less than 50 stalks of extremely precious 1,000-year-old spiritual herbs. However, her body was like a bottomless pit. No matter how many 1,000-year-old spiritual herbs she ate, she couldn't activate the power of her bloodline. Even her strength was increasing at an extremely slow rate. She was only at the level of a Class 6 Heaven Beast Immortal. However, Yi Chunfeng knew that the greater the potential of the bloodline, the harder it was to activate it. Hence, he wasn't in a hurry and took out all the spiritual herbs that he had stashed away. The relationship between Yi Chunfeng and the spiritual fish was also getting closer and closer as they interacted with each other every day. Buzz. Buzz. On the 12th day, Yi Chunfeng disguised himself as Su Mingwei and hid in the Stygian underworld sect to recuperate. When he had recovered 1/3 of his injuries, the communication pearl in his pocket suddenly vibrated. Outer Sect Disciple Competition. The first place will be rewarded with a mortal essence fruit. After hearing the message from the communication pearl, Yi Chunfeng's eyes lit up. He was slightly interested in the mortal essence fruit. The mortal essence fruit didn't have a strong spirituality and was far inferior to the 1,000-year-old spiritual herbs that Yi Chunfeng had collected. However, the mortal essence fruit had a miraculous effect, which was to protect one's meridians. If Yi Chunfeng could obtain the mortal essence fruit, he could use the spirituality of the mortal essence fruit to protect his newly recovered meridians. He could then consume the aqua fire dragon fruit and use the powerful spiritual energy of the aqua fire dragon fruit to completely recover from his injuries. Tomorrow, I will witness the strength of this Stygian underworld sex genius disciple. I hope he won't disappoint me. Yi Chenfeng's mouth curved up slightly and revealed a faint smile. His eyes revealed confidence, as if the entire world was under his control. Fourth update. Requesting Red Envelope's mobile reading website. Book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 511. The first rays of the morning sun shone brightly in the east. The dark sky shook off the black veil and ushered in a brand new day. Early in the morning, Yi Chenfeng, who had disguised himself as Su Mingwei, and Ling Yu, who was wearing a coarse robe, arrived at the outer sect of the mysterious underworld sect. Brother Chenfeng, you have yet to recover from your injuries. You must be careful. Don't try to be brave. Also, don't expose your identity. Otherwise, you will lose your life. Ling Yu did not know Yi Chenfeng's true strength. She was afraid that something would happen to him, so she warned him softly. Don't worry, nothing will happen. Yi Chenfeng smiled and said confidently. The outer sect competition of the mysterious underworld sect was not a one-on-one competition. It was a test of one's combat strength. The location of the competition was the mysterious spirit cave, and it was a test of one's speed. The first person to break out of the mysterious spirit cave would be the champion of the outer sect competition. The top 5 would be promoted to inner sect, disciple, and receive generous rewards. Interesting. I wonder what's so special about the mysterious spirit cave. Yi Chenfeng's lips curled up slightly as he thought to himself. Although he felt that the mysterious spirit cave competition was not simple, it was not a threat to Yi Chenfeng, who had recovered 1/3 of his injuries. If he wanted to, he could break the speed record of the mysterious spirit cave. A level 4 dark beast ancestor. I did not expect there to be such an expert among the outer sect disciples. Yi Chenfeng stood in the spacious plaza and scanned the outer sect disciples of the profound underworld sect. Unexpectedly, he found a young man in a white robe. He stood out from the crowd and had an arrogant expression on his face. He immediately searched Su Mingwei's soul memories. Shirmoku, the number 1 outer sect disciple of the mysterious underworld sect. He was arrogant and overbearing. He was talented and had reached level 4 dark beast ancestor after 35 years of cultivation. If Shirmoku did not have a feud with an inner sect disciple, he would have entered the inner sect with his talent and strength. Although Shirmoku was strong, Yi Chenfeng could kill the reverse beast king in seconds with 1/3 of his recovered strength, let alone Shirmoku, who was only a level 4 dark beast ancestor. This is the outer sect of the profound underworld sect, who allowed a servant disciple like you to come here. Just as Yi Chenfeng and the spirit fish were standing at the edge of the square, waiting in silence for the Xianling Caves competition to begin, a cold voice sounded and entered Yi Chenfeng and the spirit fish's ears. Asked her to come. Do you have a problem with that? Yi Chenfeng frowned slightly and slowly turned around. He saw a burly man in a khaki-colored martial arts suit. He was a level 2 mystic beast ancestor with thick hair all over his body. He was walking over with an oppressive aura. Guo Xiaohai. Looking at this burly man who was stirring up trouble, Yi Chenfeng immediately recognized him. He was Su Mingwei's enemy in the outer sect, Guo Xiaohai. Judging from the aura he emitted, he had already broken through to the 2nd level of the mystic beast ancestor realm. Su Mingwei, I find that you're becoming more and more arrogant. Do you think that the inner sect disciple position is already in the bag? Guo Xiaohai coldly snorted and spoke without any trace of politeness. You don't need to worry about whether or not I can become an inner sect disciple. However, I'm afraid that you won't be able to participate in the Xianling Caves competition, much less become an inner sect disciple. Yi Chenfeng ignored Guo Xiaohai's oppressive aura and spoke in a domineering manner. After saying that, Yi Chenfeng's body flashed and appeared in front of Guo Xiaohai as if he had teleported. He sent a punch at Guo Xiaohai's chest. You're courting death. Guo Xiaohai didn't think that Yi Chenfeng would be so bold as to attack him in front of everyone. He was instantly enraged. A strong red-furred gorilla appeared on his body and roared at Yi Qinfeng. Mighty Vajra fist. Guo Xiaohai channeled all the soul power in his body into his right fist. A dazzling golden light gushed out from his fist, and a terrifying fist aura blasted out as he met the incoming attack head-on. Kacha! The two fists collided, and the crisp sound of bones breaking rang out. Guo Xiaohai's fist, which was filled with soul power, was shattered by Yi Qinfeng's punch. The powerful force broke his arm, and the white bone directly pierced through his skin. When it was exposed to the air, it made people's hair stand on end. After breaking Guo Xiaohai's right arm with one punch, Yi Qinfeng followed up with another attack. His palm that was filled with millions of pounds fiercely pressed onto Guo Xiaohai's chest. That one palm caused Guo Xiaohai's ribs to cave in, and he spat out a large amount of blood. Guo Xiaohai's entire body was like a kite with a broken string. He drew a beautiful arc in the air and heavily fell onto the ground. He couldn't crawl back up for a long time. What? When did Su Mingwei become so strong? He was able to heavily injure a second-rank Xian beast ancestor, Guo Xiaohai, in just 2 moves. This year's Outer Sect Disciple competition is going to be interesting. I just don't know what rank Su Mingwei will obtain in the end. This Su Mingwei really hid his strength well. However, compared to Shimoku, there is still a large gap in strength. The first place of this year's Outer Sect Disciple competition will definitely be Shimoku. That's right. The #1 disciple in the Outer Sect is not just for show. Witnessing the scene of Yi Qinfeng heavily injuring Guo Xiaohai, the entire Outer Sect square was in an uproar. The Outer Sect disciples who were waiting for the Xianling cave to open were all discussing it. Shimoku, who was known as the #1 disciple in the Outer Sect, also cast his gaze towards Yi Qinfeng. Rays of light shot out from his deep eyes. After a short interlude, the noisy Outer Sect square gradually returned to normal. After about half an hour, a tall old man wearing a black martial arts suit with white hair appeared with a few Outer Sect elders. Looking at the old man in the black robe, Ling Yu's expression changed slightly. She immediately hid behind Yi Qinfeng. It was obvious that she was afraid of this old man in the black robe. This old man in the black robe was the person in charge of the Outer Sect of the Xianming sect. He was elder who was at the peak of a level 6 Xian beast ancestor. Everyone quiet down. Today is the day of the Outer Sect Disciple competition that occurs once every 3 years. However, this year's competition is different from the previous years. This year's competition is not about individual combat strength, but overall strength. As for the location of the competition, it will be one of the 3 mysterious caves of the Xianming sect, the Xianling Cave. Elder who stood in the middle of the square and introduced the rules of the competition with a deep voice. All right, those who are going to participate in the Xianling Cave competition, follow me. After announcing the rules of the Xianling Cave competition, Elder who immediately brought more than 100 Outer Sect disciples to the back mountain of the Xianming sect. They arrived outside the Xianling Cave that was sealed by a formation. Open, standing outside the Xianling Cave. Elder who took out a hexagonal formation plate and poured a large amount of soul power into it. Suddenly, rays of white light shot out from the hexagonal formation plate and merged into the seal, opening the Xianling Cave. This Xianling Cave competition will last for 3 hours. The first disciple to emerge from the Xianling Cave will be the #1 disciple of the Outer Sect competition. The reward will be Immortal Energy Fruit. All right, I will now announce that the Outer Sect Disciple competition has officially begun. Everyone can begin to break through the Xianling Cave. I will wait for you at the end of the Xianling Cave. Elder who announced loudly. So. As soon as Elder who finished speaking, Yi Qinfeng, Shimoku, and the rest of the disciples flew into the profound spirit cave like arrows that had been released from a bow. The cave was filled with a cold and gloomy aura. Mobile reading website. Book address. In order to make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 512. Get out of my way. Shirmoku, who was in the middle of the crowd, roared, and a huge unicorn lizard appeared on his body. A terrifying soul force gushed out like a tidal wave and bombarded the surroundings, directly sending a few profound underworld sects disciples who were close to him flying away. His arrogant and domineering aura was fully displayed. Swimming Snake Finger. Seeing that Shirmoku had broken out of the encirclement and rushed to the front, a gray-clothed man with a scar at the corner of his eye appeared behind Shirmoku. He was a level 3 mystic beast great master, and his hair fluttered in the wind. He gave off an unruly feeling, and his strength was at level 3 mystic beast great master. He turned into an afterimage and appeared behind Shirmoku. Streams of dark green finger light danced in the air like snakes, attacking a few of Shirmoku's major acupuncture points. You're courting death. Feeling the danger behind him, Shirmoku's body started to spin like a top and formed a strong whirlwind which directly destroyed the swimming snake finger that the gray-clothed man had shot out. Heartbreaker Finger. After the swimming snake finger was easily destroyed by Shirmoku, the gray-clothed man immediately changed his move. All the soul force in his body crazily fused into his right index finger. Streaks of bright white light shot out from the tip of his finger and crushed the air as he pointed at Shirmoku's spinning whirlpool. Kacha-kacha. Following the cracking sounds, the spinning whirlpool was destroyed by the gray-clothed man's finger, and a powerful finger energy shot towards Shirmoku's chest like a hot knife through butter. He wanted to pierce through Shirmoku's chest with one finger. At this critical moment, Shirmoku did not panic. The universe ring on his finger lit up with a beam of black light. A low-grade heaven-grade longsword with a huge gem embedded in it appeared in his hand like a spirit snake. Shirmoku swung his sword forward. Bang! The gray-clothed man's heartbreaker finger was pierced through by Shirmoku's sword. The extremely sharp sword light pierced through the air and attacked his chest at an extremely fast speed. Low-rank heaven-tier longsword. Feeling the grade of the spirit snake sword in Shirmoku's hand, the gray-clothed man's expression changed greatly. He used a very strange footwork and forcefully dodged Shirmoku's sword light attack. Spectral Ghost Sword. The moment the gray-clothed man dodged, Shirmoku unleashed his powerful soul skill. Streaks of dark green sword light fanned out and enveloped the gray-clothed man, sealing off all of his escape routes. The sword light slashed towards his body like a ghost wailing and a wolf howling. Caught off guard, the gray-robed man was struck by Shirmoku's ghost sword. A large amount of blood spurted out from his body. His entire body fell heavily into the crowd, severely injured. If you don't want anything to happen to you, stay where you are and don't move. Whoever dares to surpass me will end up like you. Shirmoku held the spirit snake sword in his hand as he pointed at the outer sect disciples of the mysterious underworld sect who had ugly expressions on their faces and warned them in an arrogant and overbearing manner. Looking at the arrogant Shirmoku, none of the profound underworld sect disciples dared to say anything. The two level 3 profound beast sect disciples had gathered their courage several times, but in the end, they did not dare to provoke him. All of a sudden, the outer court disciples of the mysterious underworld sect were stunned. None of them dared to surpass him and compete for the first place in the outer court competition. Arrogant enough, but your strength is a bit lacking. Yi Chenfeng, who was mixed in the crowd, looked at the arrogant Shirmoku and revealed a trace of a cold smile. Just as he was about to turn around and leave, he suddenly walked out. What? Su Mingwei, do you want to challenge me? Seeing Yi Chenfeng suddenly walk out, Shirmoku's pupils immediately shrank into the most dangerous pinholes. A terrifying killing intent leaked out from his body and locked onto Yi Chenfeng. Right now, Shirmoku was like a demonic beast staring at its prey. No one dared to look at him directly. Sorry, but you are not worthy of being challenged by me, Yi Chenfeng coldly said. You're courting death. Shirmoku did not think that Yi Chenfeng would be even more arrogant than him. Not only did he ignore his warning, he even mocked him in front of everyone. With a furious roar, his killing intent surged as he slashed out a crescent sword arc towards Yi Chenfeng. Shape-shifting phantom. Seeing that Yi Chenfeng was about to be hit by the crescent sword arc, he suddenly shook his body and instantly transformed into several shadows, dodging Shirmoku's sword arc and mysteriously appear behind him. Spectral Ghost Sword. After missing his attack, Shirmoku immediately reacted. His body twisted in an unbelievable angle, and in a flash, he slashed out dozens of sharp sword rays, enveloping Yi Chenfeng. Break! Dozens of sword rays swept towards Yi Chenfeng. He quickly took a step forward, his foot cracked the ground under his feet, and threw out a powerful punch towards the sword rays. Boom! The terrifying fist brought with it an unparalleled destructive power. That one punch broke through dozens of sword rays and hit the spirit snake sword in Shirmoku's hand. The powerful fist passed through the spirit snake sword and into Shirmoku's hand, causing his arm to go numb. The chi and blood in his body violently churned. What? When did he become so powerful? When Yi Chenfeng had defeated Guoxiaohai, Shirmoku had not put him in his eyes at all. But when he truly fought with Yi Chenfeng, Shirmoku finally understood how terrifying Yi Chenfeng was. He was a huge threat to himself. Not only was Shirmoku shocked, the hundreds of outer disciples of the mysterious underworld sect were also shocked. The way they looked at Yi Chenfeng was constantly changing. Just as he was retreating, Yi Chenfeng continued to use the shape-shifting phantom technique, increasing his speed by several times. He launched a tidal wave of attacks towards him, completely suppressing Shirmoku's attacks. Die for me! His attack being suppressed completely enraged the proud and arrogant Shirmoku. He roared like an angry lion, and his entire body merged with the spirit snake sword, turning into a gigantic sword light that was like a spirit snake. It cut through layers of air and carried a terrifying sword aura as it slashed towards Yi Chenfeng. Shirmoku, you can give up your position as the #1 disciple of the outer sect today. Yi Chenfeng roared. His fist, which was filled with millions of kilograms of weight, was infused with his powerful soul force as it ruthlessly smashed into the snake-like sword ray. Boom! Boom! 2 deafening explosions sounded out. Shirmoku's sword ray had been destroyed by Yi Chenfeng's fist. The terrifying fist energy smashed into Shirmoku's body, breaking through his body's defenses and sending him flying. He heavily crashed into the cave wall, causing cracks to appear on the wall. Strong, too strong. I didn't think that Su Mingwei had hidden his strength so deeply. Even Shirmoku is not his match. It seems like the #1 disciple of this year's outer sect competition will be him. Although Su Mingwei is strong, Shirmoku should still have some trump cards that he hasn't used yet. It's still too early to say who will win. Seeing the scene of Yi Chenfeng sending Shirmoku flying with one fist, the disciples who were hiding in the distance started to discuss among themselves. Whoosh! After sending Shirmoku flying with one fist, Yi Chenfeng did not follow up with another attack. He used Form Displacement Phantom and quickly rushed into the pitch-black Xianling cave. Su Mingwei, I swear, I will definitely kill you. Shirmoku broke free from the cave wall and used his sleeve to wipe the blood from the corner of his mouth. He consumed a precious heaven-level soul pill and quickly chased after Yi Chenfeng. At this moment, Shirmoku had completely gone mad. He only wanted to kill Yi Chenfeng to wash away the humiliation that he had just suffered. Just as Yi Chenfeng and Shirmoku quickly appeared in the central region of the Xianling cave, a large amount of illusory energy appeared in the space and enveloped the two of them. In this illusory space, the two of them fought again. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this reading. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 5:13. Shirmoku, if you continue to pester me, then don't blame me for wasting you. Even though the illusory energy within the profound spirit cave was extraordinary, it didn't pose any threat to Yi Chenfeng. Under the suppression of the illusory Tao insight, The illusory energy that permeated the space was completely isolated. Even though Shirmoku didn't comprehend the illusory Tao insight, his martial Tao heart was unprecedentedly strong. Coupled with the clear spirit stone on his neck, it constantly helped him dissolve the erosion of the illusory energy. Spirit Snake Sword. Shirmoku didn't pay attention to Yi Qinfeng's warning. His entire body once again merged with the Spirit Snake Sword, transforming into a nearly 5-meter-long Spirit Snake Sword as he slashed towards Yi Qinfeng. Looks like you won't cry until you see the coffin. Since it's like this, then don't blame me for being impolite. Yi Qinfeng didn't take Shirmoku's sword head-on. His body slightly flashed and transformed into an afterimage as he brushed past the descending Spirit Snake Sword and approached Shirmoku, whose expression had changed slightly. He grabbed onto Shirmoku's shoulder. In the next moment, Yi Qinfeng's body exploded with a force of a few million pounds, instantly exceeding the endurance of Shirmoku's body. He forcefully pulled Shirmoku up from the ground like pulling out a carrot. With a beautiful shoulder throw, he fiercely threw Shirmoku onto the ground. Sounds of bones breaking resounded from within his body as a large amount of blood sprayed out from his mouth. Just as Shirmoku was in a daze from the fall and his entire body was in intense pain, another clear sound of bones breaking resounded. Yi Qinfeng stomped on his ankle, and the powerful force directly shattered his ankle bone. The immense pain caused him to let out a painful howl that sounded like a pig being slaughtered, and it reverberated throughout the entire profound spirit cave. Shirmoku was the #1 outer court disciple of the profound spirit sect, after all. Yi Qinfeng didn't kill him in front of everyone. Instead, he broke both of his ankles and knocked him out with a palm strike. After dealing with his most advantageous competitor, Yi Qinfeng continued to pass through the illusory space and rushed towards the end of the profound spirit cave. During the process of entering the profound spirit cave, Yi Qinfeng's powerful soul sensed that there were a lot of formation patterns and restrictions hidden in the cave. However, the power of these restrictions was limited, so they posed no threat to him at all. Yi Qinfeng slightly slowed down the speed at which he was charging through the cave and intentionally activated the formation patterns to avoid the attacks of the formation patterns. About 3 hours later, Yi Qinfeng dodged hundreds of array pattern attacks and made it to the end of the Xianling Cave. He was the first to leave the Xianling Cave and completed the test. Yes, first place belongs to Su Mingwei, not Shirmoku. When Elder Hu was guarding the end of the profound spirit cave, saw Yi Qinfeng being the first to rush out. He raised his eyebrows and revealed a look of surprise. He couldn't believe that Shirmoku, who was the strongest among all of them, would lose to Su Mingwei, who was a grade 1 mystic beast ancestor. Could it be that something happened in the profound spirit cave and Shirmoku was besieged, allowing Su Mingwei to take advantage of the situation? Elder Hu guessed. After another incense stick's worth of time, 2 grade 3 mystic beast ancestors came out of the profound spirit cave. They were covered in wounds and looked somewhat miserable. They had obtained 2nd and 3rd place respectively. Just what happened to Shirmoku. With his strength as a grade 4 mystic beast ancestor, he wasn't able to get into the top 3. Elder Hu frowned. As time passed, more and more outer sect disciples finished the test and left the profound spirit cave. But among these disciples, Shirmoku, who had been favored by Elder Hu, was not among them. Something must have happened to Shirmoku. Although Elder Hu and Shirmoku were not related to each other, he intended to cultivate Shirmoku, who was talented and had a bright future, into his trusted aide. Now that Shirmoku was in trouble in the Xianling Cave, it made Elder Hu very angry. Go into the profound spirit cave and see what happened to Shirmoku. There was still an incense stick's worth of time until the end of the test. Elder Hu couldn't sit still any longer. Before the test ended, he immediately ordered people to enter the profound spirit cave to search for Shirmoku's whereabouts. Very quickly, Shirmoku, whose ankle had been broken and who had fainted due to excessive blood loss, was carried out of the profound spirit cave. Who was it? Who did this? Elder Hu was enraged when he saw Shirmoku's miserable state. His sharp eyes swept over the disciples as he loudly questioned them. It was me. Yi Chanfeng, who had been sitting cross-legged on the ground, slowly stood up. He was neither haughty nor humble. Su Mingwei, you have enmity with Shirmoku. Why did you do this? Seeing Yi Chunfeng's cold and arrogant expression without the slightest trace of fear, Elder Hu frowned and icily asked. If it was in the past, Yi Chunfeng would have been severely punished by Elder Hu for wantonly injuring someone that Elder Hu fancied. But today, Yi Chunfeng had won first place in the outer sect competition and had also heavily injured Shirmoku. The talent and sharpness that he had displayed had caused Elder Hu's thoughts to change. No enmity. Yi Chunfeng shook his head and said, he stopped me from getting first place. Naturally, I had to retaliate. A first-rank Xian Beastmaster defeating a fourth-rank Xian Beastmaster. It seems like you must have had a fortuitous encounter. Elder Hu's eyes shot out rays of fiery light. Yi Chunfeng's sharp eyes caught the hint of greed hidden in Elder Hu's eyes. However, there was no change in his expression. If Elder Hu really did not know what was good for him, he wouldn't mind killing Elder Hu and sending him to hell. Bring Shirmoku to treat his injuries. No matter what price we have to pay, we must heal his injuries. Do not leave behind any sequelae. Elder Hu ordered coldly as he shifted his gaze away from Yi Chunfeng. Yes, Elder Hu. After speaking, two outer sect protectors of the profound Xian sect carried the unconscious Shirmoku and left. Time passed minute by minute, second by second, and soon 6 hours had passed. After 6 hours of competition, a total of 37 outer sect disciples had made it out of the profound spirit cave. Among them, Yi Chunfeng had won first place. However, the early favorite Shirmoku had been eliminated. This made many people's jaws drop. Su Mingwei, this is your reward. After the outer sect competition ended, Elder Hu took out a milky white peach-sized mortal origin fruit from his yin and yang ring. It emitted traces of spiritual qi and gave it to Yi Chunfeng as a reward. Thank you, Elder Hu. Yi Chunfeng took the mortal origin fruit and softly thanked Elder Hu. This is the inner sect token. You have won first place in the outer sect competition. You have the qualifications to directly enter the inner sect and become an inner sect disciple. Elder Hu gave a sparkling green token to Yi Chunfeng. After rewarding Yi Chunfeng, Elder Hu rewarded each disciple according to their ranking. All right, the outer sect competition has ended. Those who have obtained the qualifications to enter the inner sect can enter the inner sect tomorrow to receive cultivation resources. Elder Hu announced loudly. Wait, Su Mingwei, I have something to talk to you about. Come with me. Just as Yi Chunfeng turned to leave and was about to find a safe place to refine the mortal origin fruit and water fire dragon fruit to recover from his injuries, Elder Hu's eyes flashed with malice as he suddenly called out to him. Mobile reading site, book address. In order to make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 514. Elder Hu, may I know why you are looking for me? Yi Chunfeng slightly frowned and slowly turned around. He looked at Elder Hu, who was hiding greed in his eyes, and softly asked, You will know once you follow me. After speaking, Elder Hu brought Yi Chunfeng to the place where he had been cultivating for hundreds of years. It was located in a quiet courtyard beside a small lake. Sit. Elder Hu activated the restrictions in the courtyard and sat down with Yi Chunfeng under an ancient tree that was more than 1,000 years old. It was luxuriant and would require dozens of people to wrap their arms around it. Elder Hu personally poured a cup of dark green tea for Yi Chunfeng. Su Mingwei, I didn't expect that a hidden dragon like you was hidden in the outer sect. Elder Hu took a sip of tea and leisurely said, Elder Hu is too kind. I am just a little lucky. Yi Chunfeng slightly smiled and said in a neither arrogant nor humble manner, Lucky. Elder Hu's eyes lit up and said, Su Mingwei, I am very curious. What kind of fortuitous encounter did you have in the past few years? Why do you have such terrifying combat strength when you're only a first-grade Xian beast ancestor? Even Shirmoku was not your opponent. My apologies, Elder, who? This involves some of my secrets. Please forgive me for keeping a secret. Yi Chenfeng raised his teacup and took a sip of tea before slowly saying, When the dark green tea flowed into Yi Chenfeng's body, he slightly frowned. His powerful perception detected a colorless and odorless poison in the green tea. Su Mingwei, I will not beat around the bush with you. I am very interested in the secrets on your body. I wonder if you are willing to give it to me. As long as you give me the secrets on your body, I promise to provide you with unimaginable cultivation resources and support you. Seeing Yi Chenfeng drink the tea, Elder Hu's smile became even wider. He revealed his true colors and said greedily, What if I am not willing? Yi Chenfeng used his finger to gently turn the teacup and faced Elder Hu's burning gaze as he asked with neither joy nor sorrow. Su Mingwei, you don't seem to have a right to choose. If you don't want to, I can only search your soul and forcibly extract the great secret from you. Elder Hu did not expect Yi Chenfeng to reject him. His face instantly darkened as he threatened coldly. Elder Hu, if there's nothing else, I'll take my leave. Yi Chenfeng ignored Elder Hu's threat. He raised his head and drank the tea in the teacup. Do you think you can leave? Elder Hu revealed a cruel smile and said, Do you know what was in the tea you drank? Is there poison in the tea? Yi Chenfeng asked calmly. Yes, you know that there's poison in the tea. Elder Hu raised his eyebrows. He looked at Yi Chenfeng's stern face and said with some surprise, I knew there was poison in the tea the moment I took the first sip. Yi Chenfeng said. Then why did you drink him dry? Elder Hu said with a gloomy face. He had an inexplicable bad feeling in his heart. Because I was thirsty. Yi Chenfeng smiled faintly and said in a playful manner, Su Mingwei, do you know the consequences of angering me? Elder Hu did not expect Yi Chenfeng to be so daring and actually dare to tease him in front of everyone. A soaring, baleful aura was released from his body. He locked onto Yi Chenfeng and said in a low voice, What? If you want to fight, I'm afraid you're not my opponent. Yi Chenfeng ignored the baleful aura released by Elder Hu. He stood on the spot like a steel spear and said with an incomparably tyrannical tone, Ha ha, Su Mingwei, I find that you are really naive and cute. With your strength of a first-rank Xian beast ancestor, you still want to defeat me? Elder Hu seemed to have heard the funniest joke in the world. He arrogantly laughed and said with disdain, How would I know if I don't try? Yi Chenfeng's eyes shot out a sharp light. A terrifying killing intent instantly emerged from his body and spread in all directions with his body as the center. It caused the air in the courtyard to seem to have solidified. It was so oppressive that it made people unable to breathe. Feeling Yi Chenfeng's killing intent that was accumulated from blood and bones, the smile on Elder Hu's face instantly froze. His eyes were wide open, and he didn't dare to believe that Yi Chenfeng was actually able to release a killing intent that could disturb his state of mind. Just when Elder Hu was in shock, Yi Chenfeng made his move. He brought along a suffocating pressure as he approached Elder Hu. He blasted a fist towards Elder Hu's chest. The terrifying fist radiance brought with it an unparalleled sense of oppression, leaving a long streak of white light in the air. The terrifying power caused Elder Hu's expression to change drastically. He hurriedly took out a low-grade heaven-tier dark gold staff to defend himself. Netherworld's heaven-raising staff. Holding the dark gold staff in his hand, Elder Hu burst out with his strongest soul power. An endless amount of green radiance was reflected from the dark gold staff. It was like a pillar that supported the heavens as it ruthlessly collided with Yi Chenfeng's fist. Ka. The two powerful forces collided together. The dark gold staff in Elder Hu's hand couldn't withstand Yi Chenfeng's attack and was immediately bent into a crescent shape. A large number of cracks were spreading on the dark gold staff. The terrifying vibrations transmitted into Elder Hu's arms, causing him to almost lose his grip on the dark gold staff. What? How can he have such a terrifying attack power? After personally witnessing Yi Chenfeng shattering the dark gold staff with a single punch, Elder, who was so shocked that his eyes widened. It was as if he had seen a ghost. "No, you're not Su Mingwei." Thinking that if Su Mingwei really had such terrifying strength, he wouldn't be unknown and be willing to stay in the outer sect. There was only one possibility for him to hide his strength, and that was that he wasn't the real Su Mingwei. "You are very smart, but you have realized it too late." The corner of Yi Qinfeng's mouth rose slightly, revealing a cold smile. His entire body continued to explode with astonishing strength as he attacked Elder, who, like a tidal wave, completely suppressing him. Because Elder, whose courtyard was covered with a powerful restriction formation, Yi Qinfeng, and Elder, whose intense battle was completely blocked off by the formation. No one knew what was happening inside. You cannot kill me. Many people know that you followed me to this courtyard to cultivate. If something happens to me, they will be the first to suspect you. At that time, the profound underworld sect will definitely kill you to avenge me. But if you let me go, I swear that I will keep your secret. Surrounded by danger, Elder, who only had the strength to resist, was terrified. He loudly shouted, wanting to use the profound underworld sect to pressure Yi Qinfeng and fight for a chance to live. "Sorry, I only believe in the dead." Yi Qinfeng remained unmoved. Taking advantage of the fact that Elder, whose aura was in disorder and he was retreating in defeat, he stomped on the hard ground and used his killing move. Great Sun Skyfire Fist. The fire Tao pattern and the black flame, heavenly fire, gushed out from his body and gathered in his right fist. He blasted out a destructive fist light that was like a red sun. It exploded layers of air and shattered Elder, whose physical defense with a single punch before blasting into his body. "No!" Elder, who let out a roar of despair as his entire body was blasted by the great Sun Skyfire Fist, turning into minced meat. He died on the spot. After using all his strength to kill Elder Hu, Yi Qinfeng took away his belongings and released the black skyfire, burning everything and destroying all traces. Subsequently, Yi Qinfeng took out Elder Hu's communication pearl and imitated his voice. He informed several outer sect elders that he was in seclusion and strictly ordered them not to disturb him. After doing all this, Yi Qinfeng peacefully adjusted his aura in the courtyard. When night fell, he left the courtyard that was filled with the smell of blood and came to the back mountain of the profound underworld sect. He was preparing to consume the mortal essence fruit and the water fire dragon fruit to heal his injuries. Please check the address of the latest book, Chivalry Network. You can read the latest chapters of this book. Mobile reading website, book address. In order to make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 515. The night was quiet, and a cool breeze was blowing. The cold moonlight shone on the forest, giving the forest some visibility in the dark. And this place is not bad. It's quieter. I'll eat the mortal fruit and water dragon fruit here. Yi Qinfeng concealed his presence and traveled through the netherworld back mountain at top speed for more than 2 hours. He came to the depths of the mountain and found a quiet lake. He went into the lush reeds beside the lake and took out the milky, white mortal fruit, which was emitting a refreshing fragrance, and swallowed it whole. After swallowing the mortal essence fruit, Yi Qinfeng immediately felt a viscous spiritual energy covering his entire body, completely enveloping the weak meridians that he had just recovered. This mortal fruit is indeed magical. Feeling the changes in his body, Yi Qinfeng revealed a faint smile. He took out the water dragon fruit that was tamed by the golden, clear dragon bloodline for more than 100,000 years. It was an extremely high-quality water dragon fruit. When Yi Qinfeng dispelled the formation restriction around the aqua dragon fruit, the power of water and fire was released from the aqua dragon fruit. It filled the void and formed a wisp of faint green smoke that resembled a swimming dragon. Boss, the spirituality in this water dragon fruit is not to be underestimated. You must not push yourself too hard. Otherwise, you will suffer a backlash from the spirituality released by the water dragon fruit and be seriously injured. The chaos divine beast appeared in Yi Chunfeng's body and reminded him seriously. I know what I'm doing. Yi Chunfeng nodded and said, Hun Dun, protect me. After saying that, Yi Chunfeng summoned the 100 crystal primal chaos diagram and enveloped himself, sealing the space around him. Black Skyfire refined. Although the water dragon fruit came from the heaven domain and was full of spiritual energy, there were still some impurities in its flesh. Yi Chunfeng did not eat the whole fruit. Instead, he released the black Skyfire to refine it, removing the impurities and refining it into liquid essence. Roar! While Yi Chunfeng was refining the water fire dragon fruit, a faint dragon's roar resounded within the fruit. Vaguely, Yi Chunfeng seemed to see a majestic divine dragon soaring within the water fire dragon fruit, overlooking all living things, making people want to worship it. This water fire dragon fruit is indeed a spiritual item that was nurtured in the heaven domain. Just the spiritual energy it exudes is enough to make one feel relaxed and happy. It surpasses the average heaven-level soul pellet. If I were to completely absorb it, not only would I be able to heal my injuries, but I would also be able to increase my strength. Yi Chunfeng took a deep breath and inhaled the spiritual energy released by the water fire dragon fruit. Immediately, his spirit was shaken. Under the full power of the black flame heavenly fire, the aqua dragon fruit was completely melted. The impurities it contained were also burned into ashes by the black flame heavenly fire. About 6 hours later, the water fire dragon fruit turned into a puddle of red and blue spirit liquid without any impurities. It's done. Yi Chunfeng let out a long sigh of relief and drank a mouthful of the water of heavenly secrets to recover his exhausted soul power. He controlled the black flame heavenly fire to split the red and blue spirit liquid into 1/10 and swallowed it bit by bit. After swallowing the pure spirit liquid refined from the water fire dragon fruit, Yi Chunfeng immediately felt a pure spirit energy being released from his body. It was like a wild horse that had escaped its reins and was running amok through his meridians. Fortunately, Yi Chunfeng's meridians were wrapped by the sticky spirit energy from the mortal essence fruit. He was able to completely withstand the violent spirit energy from the water fire dragon fruit. Primal chaos divine would suppress. Soul-devouring art refine. Feeling that the spirit energy released by the water fire dragon fruit in his body was getting more and more violent, Yi Chunfeng immediately controlled the primal chaos divine would to suppress it. He controlled the soul-devouring art to quickly refine it, replenishing his depleted body and healing his injuries. Under the nourishment of the water fire dragon fruit's spirit energy, Yi Chunfeng's injuries slowly improved. His depleted body potential and blood energy were also slowly replenished. On the 5th day, Yi Chunfeng had refined half of the water fire dragon fruit's spirit energy. His injuries were basically healed, and powerful soul power once again filled his body. I've finally recovered from my injuries. Feeling that he had finally recovered to his peak condition, Yi Chunfeng let out a long sigh of relief. He revealed a faint smile and continued to refine the remaining spirit energy from the water fire dragon fruit to increase his strength. Just as Yi Chunfeng was refining the water fire dragon fruit in the depths of the mysterious spirit mountain range, 2 uninvited guests appeared. One of them was Moku, who had suffered a crushing defeat at the hands of Yi Chunfeng in the mysterious spirit cave. He was severely injured and lost everything. Moku, don't be depressed. A momentary failure is nothing. I believe that with your talent and aptitude, you will definitely be able to soar to the sky and become an outstanding person. As for that Su Mingwei, you don't have to worry. If he dares to hurt you, I will definitely make him pay the price in blood. Beside Shirmoku, there was a woman wearing a green silk short skirt. Her skin was as smooth as milk, and her legs were long and straight. Her appearance was not bad, but there was a trace of hostility between her eyebrows. Her strength was close to that of a rank 6 mystic beast ancestor. No need, I will personally take this revenge. I will crush all the bones in his body bit by bit, and let him slowly die in regret. Shirmoku had basically recovered from his injuries, but his confidence had been greatly damaged. He clenched his fists and swore viciously. "But I need your help now." "What kind of help?" The woman in green looked at Shirmoku and asked softly. "I want a blue soul heavenly pellet." Shirmoku said softly, "With a blue soul heavenly pellet, I am confident that I can break through to rank 5 mystic beast ancestor within a month. At that time, I will be able to crush that bastard Su Mingwei to death." Blue soul heavenly pellet. The woman in green gently bit her alluring red lips and said, "Okay, within 10 days at the latest, I will definitely find a way to help you exchange for a blue soul heavenly pellet from the inner sect." The blue soul heavenly pellet was an extremely valuable heaven-grade spirit pellet. There were not many of them in the entire mysterious underworld sect, and the exchange requirements were even more outrageous. However, the woman in green who was deeply in love with Shirmoku still agreed. "Thank you, Luluo. I will definitely not let you down in the future." Shimoku smiled and gently hugged the woman in the green dress into his arms. His 2 big hands roughly reached in her dress and caressed her smooth and delicate back. Very quickly, the beautiful woman in green with watery eyes let out a soft gasp. Her boiling hot body was like a snake wriggling in Shirmoku's embrace. Little by little, the fire in Shirmoku's heart was ignited. Just as the two of them were intensely in love with each other, intending to use the sky as a blanket and the earth as a bed, a faintly discernible dragon's roar accompanied by a powerful aura came from the depths of the mountain range. "What's that sound?" Shirmoku raised his eyebrows and looked towards the depths of the mysterious underworld mountain range. His eyes shone brightly. Could it be that a treasure has appeared? "Moku, don't stop. Let's continue." The woman in green with misty eyes opened her rosy lips slightly and bit Shirmoku's ear. She was extremely tempting as she begged. "Opportunities do not wait for people. Let's go over there and take a look first. If I remember correctly, there's a lake in the mountain ahead. Perhaps there really is a great opportunity in that lake." Shirmoku was a very ambitious person. He suppressed the fire in his heart and pulled his hand away from the woman in green's hot body as he suggested this. Then all right. Seeing that Shirmoku had lost interest, the woman in green could only stop and obediently follow him to the lake in the mountain. However, when Shirmoku and the woman in green arrived at the lake in the mountain and saw the figure walking out of the lake, Shirmoku was suddenly stunned. Immediately after, a surge of killing intent erupted from his body like a volcano. Mobile reading site, book address. In order to make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 516. Su Mingwei, I didn't expect to meet you here. It seems like you have obtained the opportunity in the lake. Shimoku, who exuded a sharp, killing intent, glared angrily at Yi Chenfeng, who was slowly walking out of the reed marsh, and spoke with a murderous look. "I also didn't expect to meet you here." After refining the aqua dragon fruit, Yi Chenfeng's soul force was almost overflowing. He was one step away from becoming a Class 4 Defiant Beast King. He ignored Shirmoku's murderous gaze and spoke emotionlessly. "Moku, let's attack together. With our strength, we can definitely kill him. At that time, everything on him will be ours." The green-dressed lady took out a low-grade heaven-tier green sword and transmitted her voice to Shirmoku. "All right, let's attack together." Thinking back to the dragon's roar just now, Shirmoku felt that Yi Chenfeng should have obtained a great opportunity in the lake. If he had obtained such an opportunity, he wouldn't even need the Jade Soul Heavenly Pill to break through to the 5th level of the Mystic Beast Ancestor realm, or even higher. "Su Mingwei, today we will settle our old and new grudges together. I will definitely chop off your dog head and send you to hell." As he spoke, Shirmoku took out his low-grade heaven-tier spirit snake sword and attacked Yi Chenfeng together with the green-dressed lady. Buzz! A large amount of sword light shot out, overlapping and engulfing the heaven and earth. It sealed off Yi Chenfeng's space to dodge and pierce towards his body. Shirmoku and the green-dressed lady's attacks were extremely sharp, especially the sword light of the green-dressed lady. It was filled with 100% sword aura and had extremely strong destructive power. However, Yi Qinfeng's physical defense was comparable to a high-grade heaven tier. Facing their attacks, he didn't dodge and allowed the overlapping sword light to hit his body. It hit. Seeing that his attack had hit Yi Qinfeng, Shirmoku raised his brows and revealed a surprised and ecstatic expression. He didn't expect that Yi Qinfeng didn't dodge their attacks. Su Mingwei, your fortune is mine. With your secrets, I'll definitely be able to break through to the reverse Beast King realm. Shimoku's eyes flashed with a fierce light. He was already imagining how he could torture Yi Qinfeng and get the big secret from him. However, when the sharp sword wind dissipated, the smiles on the faces of Shirmoku and the lady in green suddenly froze. Their eyes widened, as if they had seen a ghost. How could this be? Why isn't he injured? Looking at Yi Qinfeng, who had an arrogant expression on his face and was completely unharmed, Shimoku and the lady in green could not believe what they were seeing. They could not believe that Yi Qinfeng's physical body defense was so powerful that it could easily block their attacks. Shirmoku, you think you can kill me with this little bit of strength? Said Yi Qinfeng disdainfully as he stared coldly at Shirmoku and Shirmohan, whose faces had turned pale with fright. Moku, this Su Mingwei has hidden his strength too deeply. We're not his match. Let's leave this place first. Seeing Yi Qinfeng's terrifying strength, the lady in green became timid and hastily transmitted. All right, let's go. Although he was unwilling, Shirmoku knew that with the strength Yi Qinfeng had just displayed, he truly did not have a chance to kill him. Continuing to stay here would only put him in danger. Do you think you can leave? Yi Qinfeng sneered. Lightning flashed beneath his feet, blocking the two of them. Pow! A crisp sound of slap rang out. Yi Qinfeng's right palm, which was filled with the power of 1,000,000 pounds, landed on Shimo's right face. Shimo's face caved in from the slap. His entire body flew out and landed heavily on the ground. 10,000 slaughter, ghost sword. Seeing Shirmoku being sent flying by Yi Qinfeng's slap, the lady in green did not hesitate to ignite her blood chi. Her entire body merged with the green sword in her hand, transforming into a 6-meter-long sword of light. Bringing with it a shocking, killing chi, she slashed it at Yi Qinfeng. 3,000,000 gene of strength break. Yi Qinfeng roared, and the power of the spiritual pearl in his Shunmin acupoint exploded. 3,000,000 gene of force gushed out, turning into a huge fist aura. With an insufferably arrogant attitude, it ruthlessly smashed into the descending light sword. Kacha! The green sword of light was shattered by Yi Qinfeng's punch. The powerful fist aura shattered the sword of light, but its power did not decrease. It fiercely bombarded the body of the woman in the green dress, who could not dodge in time. It broke through her body's defense and sent her flying with a punch. How can he be so strong? Witnessing this scene, Shirmoku felt as if he was in a dream. A huge fear rose in his heart. In order to survive, he had selfishly abandoned the lady in green and turned to flee. Shirmoku, didn't you want to kill me? Why are you running? Yi Qinfeng's body flashed, and with a speed several times faster than Shirmoku's, he blocked his path. Su Mingwei, I have no enmity with you. Can you let me go? If you let me go, I promise I won't be your enemy in the future. When Shirmoku saw Yi Qinfeng blocking his way, he became timid. Beads of sweat appeared on his forehead. His tone was much weaker as he begged Yi Qinfeng with a pleading tone. If we switch places, would you let me go? Yi Qinfeng's lips curled up slightly, and he spoke without the slightest emotion. Moku, I'll cover you. Run. Just as Shirmoku had sunk into a state of terror and did not know what to do, the lady in green ignored her injuries and quickly rushed over, blocking in front of Shirmoku. Is it worth it to die for such a heartless person? Yi Qinfeng softly asked the lady in green. Her face was pale and blood was dripping from the corner of her mouth, but her eyes were filled with fearlessness. My grandfather is one of the 3 protectors of the profound underworld sect. If you dare kill me, My grandfather will definitely exterminate your entire family." The lady in green coldly snorted and gave a warning. "You won't be able to save him. He'll definitely die today." Yi Chen-feng ignored her threat. Moku run. When the lady in green saw that Yi Chen-feng did not care about her background at all and was determined to kill Shimoku, her expression changed. She shouted loudly and continued to attack Yi Chen-feng without caring about her own safety. She wanted to hold him back. But the instant the lady in green attacked with all her strength, Shimoku's eyes shone with a trace of decisiveness. He had selfishly abandoned her and fled for his life. "Sai, I hope you can open your eyes in your next life. He's not worth you using your life to protect him." Although the lady in green's righteousness and fearlessness had moved Yi Chen-feng, he would never show mercy to his enemies. A sharp finger radiance shot out like a meteor that streaked across the sky and landed on the forehead of the green-dressed woman. Bang! The lady's head exploded from Yi Chen-feng's finger, and a large amount of blood splattered across the ground. She died on the spot. After killing her, Yi Chen-feng's body blurred, and he turned into a ray of light that chased after the panicked Shimoku. In just 3 breaths' time, Yi Chen-feng caught up to him. "Shimoku, you can go to hell now." A fist radiance with a force of 1,000,000 pounds flew out and landed on Shimoku's back. Following the sound of bones breaking, Shimoku's body was pierced by Yi Chen-feng's fist. He painfully fell into a pool of blood and died. After killing Shimoku, Yi Chen-feng released his black heavenly flame to melt their corpses. After destroying the corpses, he quickly left. Mobile reading website, book address. In order to make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click the bookmark button at the bottom to record this book. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blogs, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 517. In the dead of the night, only the chirping of insects could be heard. "Lingyu, are you asleep?" Walking in the dark night, Yi Chen-feng arrived at the room where the spirit fish lived. He knocked on the door and called out softly. Hearing Yi Chen-feng's voice, Lingyu, who had been worried about his safety, quickly ran over with her bare feet. She opened the door and welcomed him in. "Brother Chen-feng, where have you been these days? I was so worried." Lingyu poured a cup of water for Yi Chen-feng and asked softly, "I have been recuperating in a nether mountain range for the past few days. Now, I have fully recovered." Yi Chen-feng did not hide his whereabouts and said softly, "Oh right, Lingyu, did anything happen in the mysterious underworld sect these few days? Why are there so many lanterns and decorations? It seems very lively." The day after tomorrow is the birthday banquet of the mysterious underworld sect master. At that time, the 2 overlords of the dark underworld county, Illusion Palace and Sky Silkworm Ridge, will send their experts to congratulate him. Lingyu said softly, "The birthday banquet of the mysterious underworld sect master is so grand." Cultivators had extremely long lifespans. They did not place as much importance on their birthdays as mortals. Yi Chen-feng was puzzled. "I heard that the birthday banquet is only one aspect. It seems that they're also discussing the Dragon Lake Sacred City competition." Lingyu's status in the mysterious underworld sect was very low. She only knew about this news when she was doing odd jobs. However, she did not know much about it. Dragon Lake Sacred City competition. Yi Chen-feng's eyes lit up. He had a trace of interest. "Lingyu, these 5,000-year-old spiritual herbs are for you. Cultivate well. I will come to see you in a few days." Yi Chen-feng left 5 precious 1,000-year-old spiritual herbs for Lingyu and left her stone house. He went directly to the inner sect to inquire about the Dragon Lake Sacred City competition. Although it was Yi Chen-feng's first time in the inner sect of the mysterious underworld sect and did not know anyone, he still used more than 100 mid-grade soul crystals to inquire about the Dragon Lake Sacred City competition. The competition in the Western Continent's Dragon Lake Sacred City was the same as the competition in the Northern Spirit Domain's Ancient Sky City. It was the highest level of martial arts competition in each continent. Almost all the forces in the Western Continent would send their genius disciples to participate. There was also a huge secret hidden in the Dragon Abyss Sacred City, and that was the mysterious Dragon Abyss. Legend had it that the dragon abyss was a dragon's lair, and a divine dragon had once appeared in it. However, no one knew if the legend was true, because the dragon abyss had not appeared for more than 100,000 years, and no one had ever entered the deepest part of the dragon abyss. Mo Fengyun, you made the azure ice mountain conspire against the ancient heavenly palace in the ancient sky city of my northern spiritual region, disrupting the order of my northern spiritual region. Should I also give you a big gift? Yi Qinfeng's lips curled into a cold smile when he found out the truth of the Longyuan sacred city. He was extremely interested in the upcoming Longyuan Sacred City martial arts competition. However, in order to participate in the Longyuan Sacred City martial arts competition, Yi Qinfeng had to obtain an identity. After pondering for a while, Yi Qinfeng decided to stay in the profound underworld sect for a while and find a way to obtain the qualification to represent the profound underworld sect in the Longyuan Sacred City martial arts competition. After making his decision, Yi Qinfeng found the elder in charge of the daily affairs of the inner sect and gave him his inner sect identity token. After receiving some cultivation resources, he was assigned to a secluded cultivation courtyard. After arriving at his own cultivation courtyard, Yi Qinfeng immediately chose to go into seclusion. Although Yi Qinfeng was only one step away from breaking through to the rank 4 Defiant Beast King realm, he had used up all of his top-grade origin treasures. It would be difficult for him to take the final step and break through to the next realm in a short period of time. After pondering for a while, Yi Qinfeng decided to use the limited time to cultivate the 5th move of the 7 Swords of Judgment. He wanted to further increase his attack power and prepare for the Longyuan Sacred City martial arts competition. The 7 Swords of Judgment was a mid-grade Dao skill that had been passed down in the spirit tribe for hundreds of millions of years. The requirements to cultivate it were extremely high. However, Yi Qinfeng's strength was comparable to an emperor. It was enough for him to cultivate the 5th move of the 7 Swords of Judgment, Heaven's Bane. With the help of the God-devouring brain, Yi Qinfeng's understanding of the 5th move of the 7 Swords of Judgment deepened. After a night of deduction, Yi Qinfeng had a basic understanding of the trajectory of the Heaven's Bane attack and the point eruption of power. However, if he wanted to fully unleash the Heaven's Bane attack, he still needed to master it in the real world and cultivate it well. Whoosh! Yi Qinfeng's body flashed slightly. Like a ghost, he left the mysterious underworld sect and arrived at the mysterious underworld mountains again. He found a secluded valley and hid in it to cultivate the 5th move of the 7 Swords of Judgment, Heaven's Bane. Although Yi Qinfeng had laid down tens of thousands of array patterns in the valley and sealed the entire valley, the attack power of the Heaven's Bane was too terrifying. The Heaven's Bane power was constantly destroying the array patterns in the valley, causing the entire valley to tremble violently. Yi Qinfeng cultivated from dawn to night. His understanding of the 5th move of the 7 Swords of Judgment was getting deeper and deeper. He was getting more and more comfortable with it. Heaven Dao pattern, Sword Dao pattern, Thunder Dao pattern, and Fire Dao pattern fuse. Feeling that he had already grasped the true essence of the sky-shattering sword, Yi Qinfeng immediately fused the 4 great offensive Dao intents he had comprehended into the ruler armament. A shocking sword soared into the sky, directly tearing apart the dome of heaven. 7 Swords of Judgment, Heaven's Bane. As the sword slashed out, the boundless destructive power of the Heaven's Bane tore apart the sea of clouds in the sky and tore the firmament apart. The firmament was in chaos. As far as the eye could see, the sky seemed to have been completely torn apart by this sword. The terrifying spatial crack extended for thousands of feet. For a moment, the sky changed color, thunder roared, and divine might shook the heavens. Just as Yi Qinfeng erupted with his 4 great offensive Dao insights and slashed out the sky-shattering sword strike that shattered the heavens. In a mountain valley behind the profound underworld sect that had a picturesque scenery that was like spring all year round and seemed like a paradise, a woman who wore an emerald green dress scattered with flowers that outlined her voluptuous figure enchanting and moved. Her sexy and plump lips revealed a myriad of flirtatious expressions at all times. She suddenly opened her charming eyes and revealed an expression of shock. What happened in the mysterious underworld mountains? Who broke into the back mountain of my mysterious underworld sect? The beautiful woman frowned as she looked into the distance. She could vaguely see a tiny spatial crack in the boundless firmament. This woman, who exuded a mature charm and looked like a peach, was the sect master of the mysterious underworld sect, Shui Yura, a Class 5 defiant beast king. Swish! Sensing that something big had happened in the mysterious underworld mountains, Shui Yura's body flashed as she summoned her soul wings and flew over at an extremely fast speed. However, when she arrived at the valley where Yi Chunfeng was cultivating the fifth move of the Seven Swords of Judgment, she could only see the crisscrossing sword scars left behind by the sword. She couldn't find any trace of Yi Chunfeng. Yura, what exactly happened here? Who was here just now? Just as Shui Yura was releasing her powerful soul power to search for clues in the valley, a charming old lady with slightly white hair appeared and asked in a low voice. She was wearing a Taoist robe with phoenix patterns on it, and her hair was slightly white. This old woman in a phoenix-patterned robe was Shui Yura's master, the previous sect master of the mysterious underworld sect, Shui Honghen, a Class 5 defiant beast king. Master, I came late and didn't find that person. However, judging from the terrifying power left behind in the spatial crack, that person's attack power is extremely terrifying. I'm afraid that person is at the level of an emperor, Shui Yura said in a serious tone. An emperor? Shui Honghen's expression changed as she whispered. Why would an emperor appear in my mysterious underworld sect? Maybe that person was just passing by and happened to be cultivating in my mysterious underworld sect's territory, Shui Yura said softly. I hope so. Shui Honghen sighed softly as her face was filled with worry. Since they couldn't find any clues, Shui Yura and Shui Honghen, who were worried, left together. Mobile reading website. Book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 518. Early in the morning, the mist drifted with the wind in the Xianming sect. The Xianming sect was decorated with lanterns and colored banners, making it look like a fairyland. The Palace Lord of the Illusion Destroyer Palace is here to congratulate you. A crisp voice broke the silence. Several huge heavenly beasts flapped their huge wings, stirring up a hurricane as they flew into the Xianming sect. Haha, Sect Lord Shui, congratulations. The Palace Lord of the Illusion Destroyer Palace, Shangwan Hong, who was wearing a dark golden martial arts suit, jumped off the flying heavenly beast and walked to Shui Yura. He laughed and congratulated her. Thank you, Sect Lord Shangwan. Everyone please come in. Shui Yura, who was wearing a bright red cheongsam embroidered with phoenix patterns, which outlined her plump and mature body, exuded a charming charm. She pursed her lips and answered with a smile. Then, she personally led Shangwan Hong and the others into the Xianming Hall, which was hung with bright red silk. Not long after the Illusion Destroyer Palace arrived, one of the three overlords of the Xianming County, Sect Lord Qi Tianshui, also came with his sect's genius experts to congratulate them. Congratulations, Sect Lord Shangwan. Judging from your aura, I'm afraid you will be able to break through to the Grade 6 Reverse Beast King realm in a few years. Qi Tianshui, the Sect Lord of the Sky Silkworm Ridge, who was wearing a brown martial arts suit, had a thin body, long black hair, and a black beard around his mouth. He gave off an unrestrained feeling. Sect Lord Qi, you are flattering me. Your aura is so much thicker than mine. I guess you will be able to take that difficult step before me. Shui Yura pursed her lips and smiled. She then led the Sky Silkworm Ridge to the Xianming Hall. After the arrival of the Illusion Destroyer Palace and Sky Silkworm Ridge's experts, some Grade 4 and Grade 5 sects in the Xianming County also came with generous gifts. Soon, the entire Xianming sect became unprecedentedly lively. Hearing the congratulations, Shui Yuro did not feel happy at all. That mysterious martial emperor was like a thorn in Shui Yuro's heart. She was full of anxiety and worry, afraid that something unexpected would happen. Wow, so many big shots came today. Look, that young man wearing a sky blue martial arts suit and holding a snakeskin longsword is Shangguan Haoqin, the #1 genius of Illusion Destroyer Palace, who is known as one of the 3 heroes of Black Abyss County, along with our senior brother. He has already reached the 2nd level of Beast King. He is Shangguan Haoqin. He is so handsome. I wonder what kind of girl is worthy of him. Although Shangguan Haoqin is strong, I think the #1 genius of Heavenly Silkworm Ridge, Ziyun, is stronger. I heard that Ziyun is 1 step away from becoming a 2nd level Beast King. He once killed a 4th level Beast King. Is this for real? A level 2 Defiant Beast King killed a level 4 Defiant Beast King? How terrifying is Ziyun's talent? The strength of such a peerless genius is not something we can imagine. I wonder if there will be a competition between the top geniuses at the sect leader's birthday banquet. According to past practice, there will definitely be a competition. I hope that eldest senior brother will be able to show disdain for all the heroes and strengthen the profound underworld sect's prestige. The inner sect disciples gathered outside the mysterious underworld sect. They looked at the top geniuses of the various forces and whispered to each other. Their eyes were filled with envy and yearning. Birthday banquet competition. Yi Chenfeng, who was standing in an inconspicuous corner with Ling Yu, heard the discussions of the disciples. His eyebrows rose slightly, and he smiled. As the experts of the various forces arrived, the banquet began. During the banquet, Shui Yuro, Shang Guanhong, and Qi Tianshui were constantly communicating through sound transmission. They were discussing the martial arts competition that was about to begin. After 3 rounds of drinking, the atmosphere of the banquet reached its peak. The competition between the geniuses of the various forces began. In order to promote the foundation of their sects and display their strength, the geniuses of the various forces went up to compete. They used all their skills and fiercely fought, winning the cheers of the entire hall. Sea River Palace's Jiang Wusong wins. A tall and straight young man wearing a dark blue martial arts suit and holding a silver spear with 1 foot in the reverse Beast King realm defeated his opponent with an overwhelming advantage and won the battle. How powerful! This Jiang Wusong actually won 5 rounds in a row. It seems that other than the top geniuses of the 3 great sects, no one else is a match for him. That's right. Looking at how relaxed Jiang Wusong is, he probably still has some strength left. With the talent he displayed, he's definitely going to break through to the Defiant Beast King realm. The Sea River Palace is going to be proud now. Looking at the arrogant smile on Jiang Wusong's face, the top prodigies of the 3 major sects didn't care at all. The #1 prodigy of the mysterious underworld sect, Shui Mozong, had a faint smile on his face. He took a sip of tea and said to the young man beside him, who was tall and sturdy and had explosive muscles, "Ziqi, you will represent the mysterious underworld sect to meet the prodigies of the major sections." "Yes, senior apprentice brother." The burly man held a pair of huge hammers that were at least 5,000 kilograms in weight. With a single leap, he crossed 100 meters and landed on the martial stage like a moving mountain. "Look, the mysterious underworld sect's genius disciple has arrived. Jing Ziki. He's ranked 3rd in the mysterious underworld sect. I heard his talent is extraordinary. He once used his own strength to kill a 1st-rank Defiant Beast King. Another genius with the ability to kill enemies above his level. I wonder if Jiang Wusong can block Jing Ziki's attacks." Seeing Jing Ziki enter the arena, the noisy arena suddenly exploded, and the atmosphere was unprecedentedly enthusiastic. "If you can block 3 of my hammers, it'll count as your win," Jing Ziki said domineeringly as he raised his heavy hammer high and pointed at Jiang Wusong, who had just won 3 matches in a row. As soon as Jing Ziki's voice fell, it caused 1,000 ripples and caused an uproar. That was especially true of the Sea River Palace's master. His face was ashen, and his eyes were filled with ruthlessness. "All right, I hope you won't regret this." The arrogant Jiang Wusong was infuriated. A huge scorpion appeared on his body, emitting a blinding golden light. "Overturn rivers and seas." Jiang Wusong roared, pouring his soul power into the silver spear in his hand. It transformed into a silver flood dragon, roaring like the sea as it attacked Jing Ziki. Break! Facing Jiang Wusong's terrifying spear, Jing Ziki did not dodge. A powerful sound wave erupted from his mouth, and his strength rose steadily. Soon, it reached a strength of 1,000,000 kilograms. At the same time, he smashed down with his heavy hammer. Bang! Bang! After being hit by Jing Ziki's 2 heavy hammers, Jiang Wusong's overturning the seas and rivers spear was broken. The powerful force passed through the silver spear and into Jiang Wusong's arms, causing his arms to go numb. The blood in his body roiled violently, and his whole body was pushed back. It's over. After forcing back Jing Ziki followed up with another attack. His body was like a meteor as he smashed into Jiang Wusong. Boom! Jiang Wusong's body trembled. His silver spear was sent flying by Jing Ziki's all-out attack. As for him, he was sent flying out of the martial stage. 2 moves. Jiang Wusong, who just won 5 rounds in a row, was defeated by Jing Ziki in 2 moves. The geniuses of the 3 great sects really are terrifying. Witnessing this scene, almost all the rank 4 and rank 5 sect geniuses were shocked and exclaimed in surprise. Who else wants to fight? Jing Ziki raised his 10,000-pound hammer high in the air and looked around, arrogantly calling out in a despotic manner. "Oof, what a boorish fellow." Wearing a purple robe, Ziyun's eyes were half closed. He gave off an unfathomable feeling. He sneered and revealed a trace of ridicule. Seeing Ziyun's disdainful expression, a beautiful woman with a full figure, fair skin, and dressed in a dark green martial arts suit slowly stood up. Like a green butterfly, she flew across the sky and landed in front of Jing Ziki. Mobile reading site, book address. In order to make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click the save button at the bottom to record this book. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 519. Brother Ziki, why don't you let me exchange a few moves with you? The pretty girl in green pursed her lips and smiled. She looked at Jing Ziki, who was a head taller than her, and spoke with a pleasant voice. Okay, then let me experience the heavenly silkworm ridge's abilities. Although the green-clothed woman in front of him seemed harmless, Jing Ziki felt a strong sense of danger from her body. He put away his contempt, and his face showed a trace of dignified expression. Senior Sister Huayu, do your best. Senior Sister Huayu, win for sure. Looking at the girl in green on the stage, the Heavenly Silkworm Ridge disciples were all excited and shouted at the top of their lungs. The disciples of the profound underworld sect were also cheering for Jing Ziki. Their cheers blended together with the noise and reverberated in the air, creating a deafening sound. Brother Ziki, be careful, Huayu reminded him. A pair of low-grade heaven-tier gloves made of ice silk appeared on her hands. A powerful physical pressure was emitted from her body. Feeling the shocking power from Huayu's body, Jing Ziki frowned and revealed a shocked expression. From the aura Huayu emitted, he had a feeling that Huayu's physical strength had surpassed his. This made him reveal a look of disbelief. Whoosh! An ear-piercing sound rang out. Huayu's body turned into an afterimage and closed in on Jing Ziki. She sent out 8 punches that emitted traces of cold qi at his strong body. Jing Ziki immediately reacted to the 8 cold qi punches from Huayu. He used his heavy hammers to receive them. Bang! 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 When the 2 powerful attacks collided, a large amount of energy halo surged in the air. Huayu looked petite, but her physical strength was not weaker than Jing Ziki's. In addition, the cold qi punches she just sent out were one of his killing moves. They were extremely destructive. In a head-on clash, Huayu had a certain advantage and was able to slightly restrain Jing Ziki's attacks. After a round of fierce attacks, Hua Yu followed up with another attack. Her punches became more and more powerful and domineering. She completely suppressed Jing Ziqi's attacks and forced him to retreat. Yes, the power of a bloodline. Sect Master Qi, if I'm not wrong, Hua Yu should have a mutated bloodline. Seeing that Jing Ziqi's attack was completely suppressed, Shui Yuruo revealed a grave expression. She glanced at Qi Tianshui, who was smiling beside her, and asked in a low voice, Patriarch Shui, you're right. Hua Yu has the blood of the heavenly ape. Even though she's only a half-step beast king, her strength is comparable to a second-level beast king. Qi Tianshui nodded and said proudly, Damn it, how could she be so strong? Jing Ziqi's arms were numb from Hua Yu's ferocious attacks. Seeing that he had retreated to the edge of the arena, Jing Ziqi gritted his teeth and fused with his spiritual beast to the greatest extent, stimulating his strongest potential, trying to turn the situation around. Heavenly Silkworm, 5 styles. While Jing Ziqi was fighting with his life on the line, Hua Yu quickly unleashed the Heavenly Silkworm Ridge's ultimate heavenly skill that had been passed down for tens of thousands of years. 5 golden silkworm shadows appeared around her body, turning into 5 shocking fist lights that tore through space. With a series of explosions, they struck towards Jing Ziqi's hammers. Not good. The moment Hua Yu unleashed the Heavenly Silkworm 5 moves, Jing Ziqi smelled a thick sense of danger, and his face changed drastically. Boom, 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 boom. 5 explosions rang out, and Jing Ziqi spat out blood. His body trembled as he was sent flying. At this moment, Jing Ziqi felt as if 5 mountains had crashed into his body rapidly. He couldn't hold on anymore, and his body's defenses were shattered. He fell out of the arena and lost the match. So strong. The geniuses of the 3 major sects are indeed not on the same level as us. Their strength is too terrifying. It seems like the first and second personal disciples of the Mystic Underworld sect are about to enter the arena. If they can't suppress everyone, the Mystic Underworld sect will lose face this time. Let me deal with her. The second personal disciple of the Mystic Underworld sect, Chao Yun, was holding a dragon pattern battle saber. His golden hair was fluttering in the wind, and he was a first-level beast king. Chao Yun, that Hua Yu's not simple. Remember not to underestimate her, or you might lose. The first personal disciple of the Mystic Underworld sect, Shui Mozong, transmitted a message with a serious expression. He felt a trace of pressure from today's situation. Don't worry, first senior brother. I will definitely defeat her. After speaking, Chao Yun summoned his soul wings and flew into the air, showing off. He landed on the arena. Senior brother Chao Yun, when we fight later, you have to go easy on me. Hua Yu blinked her big eyes at Chao Yun, revealing 2 cute dimples as she spoke with a relaxed expression. Cut the crap. Eat my saber. Chao Yu didn't go easy on her. He held his dragon pattern battle saber and slashed at Hua Yu. The terrifying saber aura directly split the air, and it was dazzling. Roar. A terrifying beast roar came from Hua Yu's body. She activated her spiritual beast bloodline, and her delicate body flew into the air with shocking destructive power. She faced the dragon pattern saber light head-on in the air. Kacha! Hua Yu's body erupted with shocking power and broke the dragon pattern saber light. Next, she used the Sky's Silkworm 5 moves and punched 5 times in the air at Chao Yun. The terrifying fist aura made Chao Yun's expression change slightly, and he had no choice but to dodge. Ice Dao pattern. The moment Chao Yun dodged, Hua Yu quickly landed on the ground and used her killing move. An extremely sharp Ice Dao pattern flew out of her body and attacked Chao Yun at a speed that was hard to see with the naked eye. PFFF. Chao Yun's defense was broken by the Ice Dao pattern, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. Half of his body was frozen, and he directly fell out of the arena and lost the battle. Ice Dao pattern. Shui Yuruo's expression turned extremely ugly. She never expected Hua Yu's strength to be so terrifying. Not only did she have a variant bloodline, but her physical strength was also comparable to a second-ranked Defiant Beast King. She even comprehended the ice Tao pattern. How can this be? Second senior brother also lost. When did the sky's silkworm ridge become so strong? We can only rely on first senior brother. I hope he can turn the tide and suppress the illusion destroyer palace and the sky's silkworm ridge's geniuses. Otherwise, our Stygian underworld sect's reputation will be ruined. The Stygian underworld sect's disciples couldn't believe what had just happened. They were like defeated roosters, listless and dispirited. And Mo sang, "It's up to you. You can only win, not lose." Shui Yao took a deep breath and transmitted a message to her proudest disciple, the Stygian underworld sect's #1 genius and a second-ranked defiant beast king, Shui Mozong. She gave him a death order. Yes. Shui Mozong nodded and leaped onto the arena. He looked at Hua Yu, who had defeated 2 geniuses of the Stygian underworld sect in succession. "Junior sister, if you're tired, why don't you switch places with me?" The Heavenly Silkworm Ridge's #1 genius, Ziyun, who was also a second-ranked defiant beast king, looked at Shui Mozong with high battle intent. "No need. I want to play a little more." Hua Yu shook her head and said fearlessly, "Play. I'll make you pay for that word." Shui Mozong said with a gloomy expression. Flames burned in his heart, and his body emitted a powerful aura that was like a mountain pressing down on Hua Yu's delicate body. Buzz! There was an ear-piercing sword sound. Shui Mozong, whose aura had soared to the limit, held a low-grade heaven artifact Heaven Sword and launched a fierce attack at Hua Yu. The tide-like attacks were getting stronger and stronger, trying to suppress Hua Yu. Facing Shui Mozong's fierce attacks, Hua Yu didn't retreat. Instead, she activated her spiritual beast bloodline and went all out. For a moment, the entire arena was filled with sword lights and fist forces. There were continuous explosions in the air. It can't be. Eldest senior brother is so strong, but he can't defeat her in one move. The Heavenly Silkworm Ridge is so powerful. This is bad. If this situation continues, even if eldest senior brother wins, he won't be able to withstand the more dangerous battles later. Seeing the changes in the situation, the Stygian underworld sect's disciples were completely disappointed by Hua Yu's strength. Sword-type Tao pattern. After his relentless attacks failed, Shui Mozong used his ultimate move. A sword-type Tao pattern flew out like a bolt of lightning and shot towards Hua Yu. Ice-type Tao pattern. The moment Shui Mozong used his Tao intent, Hua Yu didn't give in and also used her Tao intent to attack. For a moment, the battle between the two became fiercer and fiercer. They used all kinds of techniques, which made many 4th grade and 5th grade factions' genius disciples exclaim in joy. On the other hand, the Stygian underworld sect side was so quiet that it was a little stifling. The development of the situation was completely beyond their expectations. The Heavenly Silkworm Ridge had stolen the limelight. Bang! The two fought fiercely for more than an hour. Shui Mozong finally seized the opportunity when Hua Yu was severely exhausted and her reaction was slow. He broke through her defenses and defeated her. Although Hua Yu lost the battle in the end, Shui Mozong, who was severely exhausted, couldn't withstand the following battles. This put the Stygian underworld sect in an awkward position. Mobile reading site, book address. To facilitate your next reading, you can click Save at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 520. Sect Mistress Shui Mozong is severely exhausted. I'm afraid he won't be able to support himself for the rest of the competition. Is there any other disciple from the mysterious underworld sect? If not, let's end the competition here. Qi Tianshui, who was overflowing with pride, took a sip of green tea and looked at Shui Yuruo, who was frowning with a gloomy expression. Shui Yuruo's face turned even uglier when she heard Qi Tianshui's suggestion. If she gave up the competition, it would definitely affect the reputation of the mysterious underworld sect. She would also become the laughingstock of all the major forces in the future. However, if she allowed Shui Mozong to continue, the outcome would be the same. With Shui Mozang's current condition, he was definitely no match for Shangwan Haoqin, the eldest disciple of the Illusion Destroyer Palace, and Ziyun, the eldest disciple of the Sky Silkworm Ridge. Once he was severely injured during the competition, it might affect his performance in the Dragon Abyss Sacred City martial arts competition. At the thought of this, Shui Yuruo sighed helplessly in her heart and decided to end the competition in advance. However, at this moment, a deep voice broke the stifling atmosphere and reverberated in the arena. "Sect Mistress, why don't I give it a try?" As he spoke, a tall and straight man wearing a white martial arts suit walked out of the crowd, exuding a confident aura. With a leap, he landed gracefully on the martial arts field. This white-clothed disciple was none other than Yi Qinfeng, who was controlling the illusion Dao pattern and had transformed into Su Mingwei's appearance. If he could display his prowess in this birthday competition and turn the tide, restoring the reputation of the mysterious underworld sect, he would definitely become famous in one battle and obtain the right to represent the mysterious underworld sect in the Dragon Abyss Sacred City martial arts competition. Su Mingwei, stop fooling around. Get out of the arena now. An outer sect elder of the mysterious underworld sect scolded loudly when he saw Su Mingwei recklessly participating in the competition. His face turned gloomy instantly. If Su Mingwei was defeated by the disciples of the two major forces in one move, the mysterious underworld sect would definitely become the laughingstock of all the major forces. This was an outcome that they did not wish to see. At this moment, many elders of the mysterious underworld sect wished they could slap Su Mingwei away to prevent him from embarrassing himself. Haha, this junior's courage is commendable. His boldness alone is much better than the others. Although the relationship between the Illusion Palace and the profound underworld sect seemed to be harmonious, they were actually secretly competing with each other. The Illusion Palace Master did not waste this opportunity to attack the profound underworld sect and laughed loudly. "Shangwan too, go and spar with this junior brother." "Yes, Sect Master." Although Shangwan too was extremely reluctant, he still stood up and summoned his soul wings that emitted a faint red light. He slowly flew to the arena. A level 1 Mystic Beast Sect versus a level 1 Defiant Beast King. Seeing such a huge difference in strength, many people could tell that Illusion Palace was deliberately humiliating the mystic underworld sect and making them lose face. "Grand Elder, who is that white-clothed disciple?" Shui Yuruo asked the first elder, who was beside her, through voice transmission. She had a gloomy expression on her face. "That disciple seems to be called Su Mingwei. He won first place in the outer disciple competition not long ago. He just entered the inner disciple competition not long ago." The great elder, whose expression was also ugly, transmitted a message to Su Mingwei. "After this banquet, I don't want to see him anymore." A murderous intent flashed in Shui Yuruo's eyes as she said coldly. "Yes." The great elder of the mystic underworld sect nodded. In his heart, he had already sentenced Yi Qinfeng to death. "Make your move. If you can hurt any part of my body, you win." Shangwan too, who was wearing a green martial arts suit with his long black hair draped over his shoulders, had a fierce aura. He placed his hands behind his back and looked at Yi Qinfeng coldly. He was deliberately mocking him. "One move. As long as you can block one move of mine, you win." Yi Qinfeng revealed a faint smile and pointed a finger at Shangwan too as he spoke arrogantly. Wow. The moment Yi Qinfeng finished his words, the entire arena was in an uproar. Pairs of shocked, stunned, and mocking eyes were cast at him. Many people even thought that they had heard wrongly. Hearing Yi Qinfeng's domineering voice and seeing the confident smile on his face, Shui Yuruo raised her eyebrows. Inexplicably, the mysterious expert who had appeared in the mystic underworld sect appeared in her mind. "Ha ha, kid. I find that you are really naive and cute." Shangwan too laughed as if he had heard the funniest joke in the world. He said, "Okay, I will stand here and not move. Let's see how you're going to defeat me in one move. Then open your eyes wide and watch." Yi Qinfeng's lips curled up slightly. All the muscles and bones in his body vibrated. A powerful force erupted from his body like a volcanic eruption and filled the air, making Shangwan Tu feel suffocated. Bang! A thunderous sound came from under Yi Qinfeng's feet. Like a bolt of lightning, Yi Qinfeng suddenly appeared in front of Shangwan Tu, who sensed danger and whose expression changed drastically. Without any fancy moves, Yi Qinfeng threw a punch at Shangwan Tu's chest. Although Yi Qinfeng didn't use any soul skill in this punch, his punch was filled with 4 million kilograms of force, which was completely out of Shangwan Tu's tolerance range. Not good. Shangwan Tu never dreamed that Yi Qinfeng, who is only a first-rank profound beast ancestor, would be able to throw out such a powerful punch. He decisively channeled the soul power in his body and poured it into his arms, overlapping his palms in front of his chest to meet this punch head-on. When the fist and palm collided, 4 million kilograms of force exploded. The powerful force was like a roaring tide, shattering Shangwan Tu's attack and surging into his body through his arms. Crack! Shangwan Tu couldn't withstand Yi Qinfeng's punch. His arms were directly broken, and his body suffered a heavy blow. He spat out a mouthful of blood and fell out of the arena, losing the match. Witnessing the scene before them, the previously noisy martial arena became completely silent. The eyes of the disciples of the various great powers became sluggish and terrified. They couldn't imagine that Yi Qinfeng, who was only a first-rank profound beast ancestor, could actually defeat Shangwan Tu, who was a first-rank reverse beast king, with one punch. Not to mention seeing such a shocking scene. They had never even heard of it. It could be said that the scene just now was beyond their comprehension. It made them feel like they were in a dream. He won. The profound underworld sect's first elder, who had already sentenced Yi Qinfeng to death in his heart, opened his eyes wide. He looked at Yi Qinfeng as if he was looking at a monster. Maybe this Su Mingwei is really related to that mysterious emperor-level powerhouse. After witnessing Yi Qinfeng's shocking strength, Shui Yurua's eyes revealed a sharp light, revealing a complicated expression. Although Yi Qinfeng's appearance had saved the profound underworld sect from an awkward situation, Shui Yurua didn't know the true purpose and scheme of that emperor. Her heart was filled with worry. First Elder, I want all the information on that Su Mingwei. Shui Yurua, who was deep in thought, transmitted a message to the First Elder. Also, don't let anyone know about this matter. Yes, leave it to me. The First Elder nodded and immediately took out his communication pearl. He sent a message to a few of his trusted aides outside, asking them to secretly gather information. Next, with his hands behind his back, Yi Qinfeng stood in the middle of the arena like a steel spear and said arrogantly, "The palace master of the illusion vanquishing palace, Shangwan Hong, was so angry that his face turned green and his body trembled. One interesting guy. Let me have a go at you. Shangwan Haoqin, the first disciple of the illusion vanquishing palace, one of the 3 heroes of the Black Underworld County, and a second-rank reverse beast king, slowly stood up and jumped into the arena. The aura emitted from his body turned into a divine spear, piercing through the air and pointing at Yi Qinfeng. Please check the address of the latest book. Swordsman website. You can read the latest chapter of this book. Mobile reading website. Book address. To make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 521. Yi Qinfeng wasn't affected by Shangwan Haoqin's scattered aura. As his energy burst out, Shangwan Haoqin's scattered aura was shattered. And Shangwan Haoqin frowned slightly and whispered, "You concealed your strength. You are very smart." It was already shocking that a Grade 1 Mystic Beast Grandmaster could defeat a Grade 1 Reverse Beast King. If Yi Qinfeng defeated Shangwan Haoqin, who is a Grade 2 Reverse Beast King, it might cause unnecessary trouble and arouse suspicion. After pondering for a while, Yi Qinfeng's cultivation level rose steadily. Soon, he reached Grade 6 Mystic Beast Grandmaster. Rays of dazzling golden light were emitted from his body. So you really concealed your strength. Shangguan Haoqin sneered when he felt Yi Chunfeng's sudden increase in strength. His heart calmed down a lot. How is this possible? That Su Mingwei actually concealed his strength so deeply. The mystic underworld sect's grand elder's turbid eyes were filled with disbelief. He couldn't imagine that he couldn't accurately sense Su Mingwei's true cultivation level with his grade 4 reverse beast king strength. It seems like this Su Mingwei is really related to that emperor-level expert. However, that emperor-level expert's strength and foundation should be able to teach him well. Why did he let him stay in my mystic underworld sect and willingly become an outer sect disciple? Was he scheming? Shui Yuruo was vexed as she pondered in her mind. Today, I will let you know how big the gap between us is. Shangguan Haoqin wasn't affected at all. A golden eagle appeared on his body and screeched at Yi Chunfeng. Phantom steps. Shangguan Haoqin's feet flashed, and his entire body turned blurry. He drew an afterimage in the martial arena and instantly appeared in front of Yi Chunfeng. The low-grade heaven artifact's sword in his hand trembled as he stabbed out 36 times, attacking all the major acupoints on Yi Chunfeng's body. Shangguan Haoqin's instantaneous attack was as fast as lightning. It was too much for the eyes to take in. Many disciples who weren't strong enough couldn't catch the trajectory of the 36 sword attacks. However, these 36 sword attacks were full of loopholes in front of Yi Chunfeng. They posed no threat at all. Chi chi chi. Ear-piercing sounds rang out. Yi Chunfeng quickly pointed out 6 fingers. 6 finger lights that contained a force of 1,000,000 jin pierced through the air like meteors and pierced into the 36 sword attacks. They hit the weak points of the 36 sword attacks and disintegrated Shangguan Haoqin's attack. What? Shangguan Haoqin didn't underestimate its attack. He no longer underestimated him. He reacted quickly. Reaction. His TSS body reacted. SSS attacks. Was ha 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 ha. S's attack. Was TSSS as S he was S. Yi Chunfeng shouted loudly. He used the profound underworld sect's legacy fist technique, the low-grade heaven skill, the profound underworld exploding fist. As for this underworld explosive fist, Yi Chunfeng had obtained it from Su Mingwei. He had only spent one night to cultivate the underworld explosive fist to the great accomplishment stage, mastering it thoroughly. Boom! The profound underworld exploding fists, which contained a force of 2,000,000 jin, smashed into the whirlpool of sword attacks. It landed accurately on Shangguan Haoqin's chest. It broke through his body's defense and sent him flying. A large amount of blood spurted out from his mouth. So powerful. Not only did Su Mingwei dodge all of Shangguan Haoqin's attacks, he even managed to injure him. That's right. I didn't expect our profound underworld sect to have such an expert. If he can defeat Shangguan Haoqin, he will become famous. What are you all standing there for? Hurry up and cheer for senior brother Su. Very soon, the profound underworld sect's disciples, who were like frosted eggplants, pulled themselves together and cheered for Yi Chunfeng at the top of their lungs. Sect Mistress Shui, is he really a disciple of your profound underworld sect? Shangguan Hong, the palace master of the Illusion Destroyer Palace, was no longer as calm as before. His face turned gloomy. He turned to look at Shui Yuruo, who was emitting a fatal temptation, and questioned. Su Mingwei is an inner sect disciple of our Western Devil sect. If Palace Master Shangguan doesn't believe me, you can send someone to investigate. Shui Yuruo smiled faintly and said softly, I will find out his identity. Shangguan Hong didn't expect things to turn out this way. He felt like he had shot himself in the foot. Good. I have underestimated you. It seems like I have to be serious. Shangguan Haoqin wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. He quickly got up from the ground and burned his spiritual beast bloodline to increase his strength. Illusion Destroyer 9 Swords. After increasing his strength to the limit, Shangguan Haoqin didn't hold back anymore. He executed his strongest move. An illusory sword light shot out and slashed at Yi Chunfeng. Interesting. This sword is actually filled with sword Dao patterns and illusion Dao patterns. Yi Qinfeng's powerful soul spirit perception easily saw through the nine sword of disillusionment. He disregarded the influence of the illusion Dao pattern and dodged the sword with a slight flash. Shangguan Haoqin didn't expect the nine swords of illusion destroyer to fail to confuse Yi Qinfeng's soul spirit and slowed down his reaction. His expression changed slightly. He continued to execute the nine swords of illusion destroyer. He slashed out illusory sword lights filled with sword Dao patterns and illusion Dao patterns toward Yi Qinfeng. 3 swords of illusion destroyer. 5 swords of illusion destroyer. 7 swords of illusion destroyer. In order to defeat Yi Qinfeng, Shangguan Haoqin kept increasing the power of the 9 swords of illusion destroyer. He forcibly condensed illusory sword lights. The crisscrossing sword lights shrouded the void and split the air. The sword intent was suffocating. The disciples of the Stygian sect were worried for Yi Qinfeng. However, Yi Qinfeng, who was at the center of the attack, was calm. If not for the fact that he didn't want to expose too much of his strength, Yi Qinfeng could defeat Shangguan Haoqin with just one move. However, even if Shangguan Haoqin deliberately concealed his strength, the 9 swords of illusion destroyer couldn't hurt Yi Qinfeng at all. Yi Qinfeng was like a gust of wind. He kept dodging and looking for a chance to counterattack. 8 swords of illusion destroyer. All of his attacks were dodged by Yi Qinfeng. Shangguan Haoqin, who had consumed a lot of energy, made up his mind. He burned his qi and blood at all costs and forcibly performed his most powerful attack. In an instant, 8 illusory sword lights appeared. They crisscrossed and enveloped the space above Yi Qinfeng's head and slashed down with an astonishing destructive force. Nether Explosion Fist. 8 illusory sword auras crisscrossed and chopped down. Yi Qinfeng, who could not dodge, raised his strength to 2.5 million Jin. He continuously sent out 5 underworld explosion fist auras, bombarding the intersection point of the 8 illusory sword auras. Boom, boom, boom. 5 consecutive explosions sounded. The 2.5 million Jin force of the nether explosion fist lights blasted open the intersection point of the 8 illusory sword lights, creating a huge gap. Whoosh! Yi Qinfeng seized this fleeting opportunity and jumped out of the attack range of the 8 swords of illusion destroyer. He approached Shangguan Haoqin, who had consumed a lot of energy. Seeing that Yi Qinfeng had broken through the 8 swords of illusion destroyer, Shangguan Haoqin's expression changed. He quickly condensed his soul wings and flew into the void. However, the moment he dodged into the void, Yi Qinfeng grabbed his ankle and controlled his body. Then, Yi Qinfeng burst out with a shocking strength that exceeded his body's tolerance. He grabbed his ankle and smashed him to the ground. Boom! The deafening sound of the collision was heard. The powerful impact directly smashed the hard fighting ring. A lot of blood flowed out of Shangguan Haoqin's head. Next, Yi Qinfeng kicked Shangguan Haoqin, who was seriously injured and bleeding, out of the fighting ring. He looked around at the dumbfounded eyes and said arrogantly, "Please check the address of the latest book. Swordsman website. You can read the latest chapter of this book. Mobile reading site. Book address. To make it easier for you to read it next time, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. You can see it when you open the bookshelf next time. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support." Chapter 522. Haoqin, seeing his son being kicked out of the arena by Yi Qinfeng, Shangguan Hong was enraged. He was like an enraged lion, glaring at Yi Qinfeng. He wanted nothing more than to eat him alive. Interesting. I didn't expect the mysterious underworld sect to have such an expert. Ziyun, whose eyes were half closed and half opened, witnessed the scene of Yi Qinfeng defeating Shangguan Haoqin. Rays of light shot out from his deep eyes, and a raging fighting spirit ignited in his body. "Ziyun, do you want to fight him?" Sensing the battle intent bursting out from Ziyun, Heavenly Silkworm Ridge Master Qi Tianxue frowned and asked. Although Yi Chunfeng's cultivation wasn't as high as Ziyun's, and he wasn't famous, the scene of him defeating Shangwan Haoqin was too shocking. Qi Tianxue was amazed. Yes, I have the confidence to defeat him. Ziyun slowly stood up and said proudly, All right, since you have already made up your mind, I won't persuade you. However, this mysterious underworld sect's disciple is not ordinary. You must not be careless. Otherwise, you will end up like Shangwan Haoqin. He is worth me using my full strength. As he spoke, Ziyun, who was the most powerful of the Black Nether County's 3 heroes, flapped his soul wings and flew onto the arena. I won't bully you. I will give you 2 hours to recover. After 2 hours, we will begin the battle. Ziyun, who was wearing a purple cloud-patterned martial robe, had his hands behind his back. He looked at Yi Qinfeng and said without a trace of emotion, I didn't consume much energy in the previous 2 battles. Let's fight directly. There is no need to rest. Yi Qinfeng revealed a faint smile and said calmly, PFFF. Shangwan Haoqin, who had consumed a heaven-class spirit pellet to heal himself, was so angry when he heard Yi Qinfeng's words that he spat out a mouthful of blood. His blood-red eyes were filled with hostility. Shangwan Hong was also angered by Yi Qinfeng's disdainful words. If they weren't in the mysterious underworld sect, he would have lost control of his temper and taught Yi Qinfeng a lesson. In that case, let's begin. Ziyun laughed arrogantly. A powerful aura emanated from his body, causing his long hair to dance in the wind. He looked like a god of death. Sky's silkworm transformation. Ziyun immediately used his trump card. A giant silkworm appeared around his body. When he fused with the silkworm, his bloodline power was fully activated. His body grew larger, and he reached the 3rd level of Defiant Beast King. Transformation. Yi Qinfeng was surprised. He was shocked that the Sky Silkworm Ridge had such a transformation technique. Heavenly Silkworm 5 styles. After using the Heavenly Silkworm transformation and becoming a rank 3 Reverse Beast King, Ziyun, who was 2 meters tall, attacked Yi Qinfeng fiercely. 5 heavenly silkworms appeared on his body and turned into 5 handprints, smashing towards Yi Qinfeng. Heavenly Wolf Sword. As the Sky's Silkworm 5 styles attacked, the Cosmos Ring on Yi Qinfeng's finger flashed, and a top-grade Earth-grade weapon with a wolf head engraved on its body appeared in his hand. Dozens of sharp sword lights were shot out, attacking the 5 silkworm silhouettes in a row, fending off the attack of the purple cloud movement. Saber Dao Pattern Slash. 2 Saber Dao patterns emerged from Ziyun's body and turned into a giant saber that was several meters long. It slashed towards Yi Qinfeng. Ziyun actually comprehended 2 Saber Dao patterns. With the Heavenly Silkworm transformation, the title of #1 in the Black Underworld County is definitely his. That's right. There is no suspense in this match. Ziyun is going to win for sure. After witnessing Ziyun's moves, many people were convinced. They no longer thought highly of Yi Qinfeng. Break for me. Yi Qinfeng's pupils constricted. A sharp sword light soared into the air, disappearing in a flash as it struck the huge saber that was descending. Gotcha! The 2 attacks collided and shattered at the same time. The saber light and sword shadows intertwined, causing the spatial zone to become chaotic. Sword Dao Pattern. This Su Mingwei actually comprehended 2 major Sword Dao patterns. How'd he do it? The mystic underworld sect's patriarch widened his eyes and mouth, revealing an expression of disbelief. He didn't dare to imagine that Su Mingwei, who didn't reveal his true strength, had hidden it so deeply. Not only did he have shocking strength, but his perception was also terrifying. He comprehended 2 major Sword Dao patterns at the mystic underworld sect's patriarch realm. Sect Patriarch, there is definitely something wrong with this Su Mingwei. After the banquet, should we take him down? The Grand Elder transmitted a message to Shui Yuruo, who was deep in thought, asking for her opinion. Grand Elder, you only need to investigate him secretly. Leave the rest to me. Remember not to make a move on him casually. Shui Yuruo instructed sternly. Yes. Hearing the concern in Shui Yuruo's voice, the Grand Elder frowned slightly as he sensed something was wrong. 2. Sword Dao patterns. You have surprised me more and more. However, this will not change the outcome. As he spoke, a low-grade heaven artifact, purple battle saber, appeared in Zi Yun's hand. His aura changed again. He is so powerful. I have not seen him for a few years. How did he become so powerful? The mystic underworld sect's first disciple, Shui Mozong, looked at Zi Yun with a grave expression. He could sense a strong sense of danger from Zi Yun's unparalleled aura. A sense of defeat arose in his heart. Roaming dragon, overlord saber. Zi Yun flew up into the sky. Streaks of overbearing saber light that whistled like dragons descended from the sky and slashed towards Yi Chunfeng with shocking destructive power. The power of the roaming dragon overlord saber that Zi Yun executed was extremely terrifying. It was almost invincible among those of the same cultivation realm. However, Yi Chunfeng was an expert comparable to an emperor. Under the cover of his powerful soul spirit, he easily saw through the attack trajectory and weak points of the roaming dragon overlord saber. His entire body turned into afterimages as he dodged the roaming dragon overlord saber. He thrust out a sharp sword light and interrupted Zi Yun's continuous attack. Subsequently, Yi Chunfeng used his arm as a sword and his hand as a blade. He slashed across the sky. 2 sword Dao patterns flew out and turned into a sword light that was several feet long. It slashed towards Zi Yun, whose expression changed slightly. Zi Yun didn't expect that Yi Chunfeng would be able to seize the initiative. He changed his move decisively. He brandished his purple battle saber and fought fiercely with Yi Chunfeng. For a moment, the saber light and sword shadows covered the entire martial arena. The sky was filled with sword chi and saber chi. The entire martial arena was riddled with holes and shattered into pieces. Yi Chunfeng and Zi Yun fought fiercely for the time it took for a stick of incense to burn. When neither of them could do anything to the other, for long snake-like black vines suddenly drilled out of Zi Yun's body and wrapped around Yi Chunfeng. Spirit vine. This Zi Yun actually subdued a spirit vine. This match should be a foregone conclusion. Spirit vines were the same as spirit water, spirit fire, and spirit thunder. They were all rare spirit items in the world. Once subdued, they would be a great help. It's over. After summoning the spirit vine to wrap around Yi Chunfeng unexpectedly, Zi Yun revealed a proud expression. He gripped his purple battle saber tightly and was about to execute the extremely powerful roaming dragon overlord saber to end the match. However, at this moment, Yi Chunfeng's eyes shot out illusion Dao intent and poured into Zi Yun's eyes. It instantly confused Zi Yun's consciousness. In the next moment, Yi Chunfeng poured 3 million pounds of force into the Sky Wolf sword. With a flick of his finger, the sword shot out at an extremely fast speed towards Zi Yun's chest. PFFF. Zi Yun's defense was broken through. The Sky Wolf sword brushed past his chest like a hot knife through butter and left a deep wound on his chest. Zi Yun, is there a need for us to continue this match? Yi Chunfeng looked at Zi Yun, who was widening his eyes and clutching his chest that was bleeding nonstop, and asked in a low voice. I lost. Zi Yun, who had a gloomy expression, raised his head and looked at Yi Chunfeng. He didn't dare to believe that after he used his final trump card and had the absolute advantage, Yi Chunfeng actually turned the situation around and defeated him. Moreover, if Yi Chunfeng didn't show mercy, Zi Yun's heart might have been pierced through. At that time, even if he didn't die, he would become a cripple. Helpless, Zi Yun could only admit defeat and hand over the position of the #1 expert of the younger generation in Black Nether County. Please check the address of the latest book, Chivalry Network. You can read the latest chapter of this book. Mobile reading website, book address. In order to make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 523. Lost. Zi Yun, who has subdued the spiritual vine and has the ability to transform, lost. Su Mingwei is too monstrous. Yes, who would have thought that a monstrous talent like him would appear at the sect master's birthday banquet? Looks like he will replace senior brother Shui and become the first disciple of mysterious underworld sect. Witnessing the scene of Yi Chunfeng defeating Zi Yun, the entire mysterious underworld sect was immersed in a sea of joy. Deafening cheers and screams could be heard incessantly. The atmosphere was unprecedentedly lively. Hearing the discussions, the first disciple of mysterious underworld sect, Shui Mozong, clenched his fists tightly. His eyes were filled with ruthlessness as he muttered in his heart, Su Mingwei, no one can shake my position. I will let you know that strength is only one aspect. Background is the most important. Sect Master Shui, you have hidden your strength well. I didn't expect your mysterious underworld sect to have such a genius. With his performance today, it is highly possible for him to enter the top 10 in the Dragon Lake Sacred City martial arts competition. At that time, the entire mysterious underworld county will benefit from his glory. Qi Tianshui, the Lord of Sky's Silkworm Ridge, did not expect Zi Yun to lose. He sighed helplessly in his heart, but did not show it on his face. Mingwei's realm is still too low. It will be difficult for him to enter the top 10 in the Dragon Lake Sacred City martial arts competition. However, there is a spiritual creature in the depths of mysterious underworld mountain. If our three sects can work together to capture it and refine it into a spiritual elixir, it will definitely increase the overall strength of our younger generation. Shui Yorua smiled charmingly and said softly, "What spiritual creature?" Qi Tianshui and Shang Guanhong's eyes lit up as they looked at the charming Shui Yorua. A tree demon that is comparable to a level 5 or 6 defiant Beast King expert. The tree demon's tree heart is a first-class spiritual creature in the world. Even an emperor-level expert would be envious of it. This is also the main reason why I invited the two of you here. Shui Yorua transmitted her voice to them. The tree demon's heart. After knowing that there was a tree demon in the depths of mysterious underworld mountain, Qi Tianshui and Shang Guanhong's depression was swept away. If they could kill the tree demon and obtain the tree demon's heart, even they would benefit from it. All right, everyone, be quiet. Shui Yorua stood up slowly and said in a pleasant voice, "This competition ends here. Su Mingwei, you have performed well today. Come to my cultivation place tonight. I will reward you alone." "Thank you, Sect Master." After Yi Chunfeng softly expressed his gratitude, he leaped down from the arena under the gazes of many people. He walked to the side of Ling Yu, whose face was flushed with excitement, and left with her in advance. "Boss, wasn't your performance just now a little too amazing? Aren't you afraid of being suspected?" The Chaos Divine Beast's voice rang out in Yi Chunfeng's mind. "The more stunning my performance is, the more the profound underworld sect won't dare to touch me." Yi Chunfeng smiled and replied mysteriously. "Why is that?" asked the Chaos Divine Beast. This Su Mingwei usually doesn't reveal his strength. Suddenly, he emerged as a new force to be reckoned with. If you were in his shoes, what would you think? Would you think that Su Mingwei had obtained a great opportunity, or that there was a mysterious expert behind him? Before they know my background, they will not casually touch me. Moreover, the Dragon Abyss Sacred City martial arts competition is very important to every sect in the Western continent. Therefore, after seeing my powerful combat strength, they might take a risk and let me represent the profound underworld sect. However, this is just my assumption. Only God knows if things will go according to my plan. If there is really an accident in the end, it will be fine. At most, I will take control of the entire profound underworld sect. Yi Chunfeng sent a voice transmission overbearingly. That is true. With your strength, it will be easy for you to take control of a small rank 6 sect. After hearing Yi Chunfeng's voice transmission, the Chaos Divine Beast was no longer worried. He continued to absorb the primal chaos energy from the primal chaos divine wood powder to recover from his injuries. Yi Chunfeng went to the small house where the spirit fish lived. He placed down several restrictions in the house and sealed the entire house. "Big brother Chunfeng, you are so strong. You actually beat so many geniuses. If only I had half of your strength. The fish was still very excited as he thought about the scene earlier. The genius soul battle continent is too big. Those people are geniuses in the profound underworld county, but they are nothing outside of it. By the way, spirit fish, I won't be able to stay in the profound underworld sect for too long. When I leave, are you willing to come with me? Yi Qinfeng smiled. Brother Qingfeng, why you keep asking me to come with you? The intelligent spirit fish blinked its big watery eyes as it looked at Yi Qinfeng and asked intentionally. Spirit fish, I won't hide it from you. Yi Qinfeng pondered for a moment and decided to tell her the truth. Your physique is very special. Once it awakens, you will have a terrifying power. I need you as a helper, so I want you to come with me. Brother Qingfeng, I didn't think you would know the secret of my special physique. The spirit fish wasn't surprised at all. Instead, she smiled. What? You know you have a special physique? Yi Qinfeng was a bit surprised. Yes, I know a little, but I haven't told anyone. The spirit fish nodded. Spirit fish, since you know about your special physique, you should also know that your bloodline has yet to awaken. If you're willing to come with me, I will do my best to help you awaken your bloodline. I will treat you like a little sister. Yi Qinfeng nodded and promised. I believe in you, Brother Qingfeng. When you leave the profound underworld sect, I will come with you. The spirit fish took a deep breath and made up her mind. Okay. The spirit fish finally agreed. Yi Qinfeng let out a long sigh of relief and revealed a faint smile. He took out a few precious 1,000-year-old spiritual herb from his Qinquan ring and gave them to the spirit fish. He then sat down cross-legged and adjusted his breath. He was going to meet Shui Yuruo when the sky turned dark. Soon, the sun set in the west, and the sky gradually darkened. Yi Qinfeng left the stone house where the spirit fish lived and went to Shui Yuruo's courtyard alone. What a beautiful scenery! Yi Qinfeng stepped into the dark night and arrived at the depths of the profound underworld sect. There was a courtyard beside a quiet lake that seemed to be cut off from the rest of the world. When he looked at the scenery around the courtyard through the bright moonlight, he couldn't help but sigh emotionally. Splash! Suddenly, a faintly discernible sound of splashing water entered his ears. Following the source of the sound, he looked towards the quiet lakeside, and his entire person was suddenly stunned. Under the moonlight, a woman with fair skin, a slender figure, and long legs was facing him with her back. She was gently splashing the cold lake water and washing her smooth body leisurely. Her curvaceous figure, slender waist, exaggerated curve of her buttocks, and seductive legs were like poison under the moonlight. She attracted Yi Qinfeng's attention deeply. How could it be? Why is someone bathing here? Please check the address of the latest book. Chivalry Web. You can read the latest chapter of this book. Mobile reading website. Book address. To make it easier for you to read it next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 524. Why is there someone taking a bath here? Looking at such an alluring scene, Yi Qinfeng had a strange feeling in his heart. His breathing became heavy, but his eyes were filled with vigilance. He did not approach her immediately. Splash! The sound of flowing water could be heard. The woman in the bath shook her wet head gently. Under Yi Qinfeng's gaze, she turned around slowly. Just as Yi Qinfeng was about to see her plump body and perky twin peaks, a vague shadow appeared behind Yi Qinfeng eerily. The shadow struck out an array talisman that was filled with powerful soul energy and imprinted it on Yi Qinfeng's head. The moment this mysterious shadow appeared, Yi Qinfeng's powerful soul energy sensed it. However, he did not dodge. Instead, he allowed the soul array talisman to imprint on his head. It formed thousands of strands of soul energy and drilled into his head, forming a powerful soul imprint. When the woman in the bath saw that her sneak attack had succeeded and that Yi Qinfeng's soul had been successfully imprinted with a soul imprint, she revealed a charming smile. A long robe as white as silk appeared out of thin air, covering her alluring body. Looking at the charming woman who was walking out of the lake slowly with bare feet, Yi Qinfeng immediately recognized that she was none other than the sect master of the mysterious underworld sect, Shui Yura. The person who sneaked an attack on him and used the solar ray talisman to control his soul was the supreme elder of the mysterious underworld sect, Shui Yurua's master, Shui Honghen. The reason why Shui Yura sacrificed her body to attract Yi Qinfeng was that she was afraid that Yi Qinfeng's soul energy would be too strong. If she failed to imprint the soul imprint on him, it would cause unnecessary trouble. Therefore, she came up with this plan to disturb his mind. It turns out to be a trap. However, Yi Qinfeng did not care about the soul imprint in his mind. With the powerful devouring power of the God-Eater brain, he only needed a thought to break the soul imprint. Sectmaster, what are you doing? Yi Qinfeng pretended to be frightened when he saw Shui Yura, who was wearing a tulle gown and had a faintly discernible figure and exuded a mature charm, walking over slowly with a burst of fragrance. Su Mingwei, don't be nervous. We don't have any bad intentions. I just have a few important things to ask you. If you answer me honestly, not only will I not hurt you, I will even give you some benefits. Shui Yura's rosy lips curled up slightly as she spoke in a pleasant voice. Sectmaster, what do you want to ask? Yi Qinfeng pretended to be calm as he asked, who is your master? Why is he hiding near my profound underworld sect? As Yi Qinfeng's soul had been imprinted with an imprint, Shui Yurua no longer had any concerns. She went straight to the point. Master! Yi Qinfeng frowned slightly and deliberately revealed a trace of surprise. You don't have to hide it. We already know that you have a combat beast emperor as your master. Moreover, we don't have any bad intentions towards you. We just want to know why he kept you in my profound underworld sect. If you answer us honestly, I promise not to hurt you. Shui Honghen, who was wearing a Taoist robe with phoenix patterns, said slowly. Well, since you already know, I will tell you. Yi Qinfeng pondered for a while and suddenly raised his head. He looked into Shui Yurua's charming eyes and said, 3 years ago, I went out by chance and saved a person. That person imparted me a lot of superpowers. He is the combat beast emperor that you mentioned. Yi Qinfeng's mind was spinning rapidly as he fabricated a groundless master. Who is that combat beast emperor? Why did he keep you in my profound underworld sect? While Yi Qinfeng was talking, Shui Honghen kept sensing the soul imprint and did not find anything unusual. She completely believed his words and continued to ask. I also don't know the true identity of my master. However, he said that we will only be master and disciple for 3 years. After 3 years, he will leave. If I can't break through to the combat beast emperor realm in my lifetime, he will never acknowledge me as his disciple. Yi Qinfeng continued to make up a story casually. 3 years of master and disciple? Shui Yurua's eyes lit up and continued to ask, how long is it before the deadline of 3 years? A few days ago, the 3-year period was up. My master has already left. However, before he left, he asked me to participate in the Longyuan Sacred City martial arts competition. He said that I have a chance to enter the top 10 in the Longyuan Sacred City. Yi Qinfeng said. He left. Shui Yurua and Shui Honghen looked at each other and saw the joy in each other's eyes. Shui Yurua said, Su Mingwei, you should know how precious the quota for the Longyuan Sacred City martial art competition is. If you really want to participate, you can. However, to avoid any accidents, we can't remove the soul imprint in your mind. Then how can I remove the soul imprint in my mind? I don't want to be controlled by someone for the rest of my life. Yi Qinfeng asked with some resistance. If you want to remove the soul imprint, you have 2 choices. You can either leave my profound underworld sect forever or be loyal to us and be a disciple of my profound underworld sect for life. Shui Yurua said, I choose to stay in the profound underworld sect. Yi Qinfeng said without hesitation. All right, Su Mingwei. As long as you are loyal to our Xianming sect, we promise to provide you with the best cultivation resources. If you break through to the combat beast emperor realm one day, I will immediately give up my position and let you be the sect leader of the Xianming sect. Shui Wu revealed a mesmerizing smile and made an extremely tempting promise. Thank you, sect leader. Su Mingwei will not disappoint sect leader and grand elder. Yi Chenfeng purposely revealed a look of infatuation and patted his chest as he promised. He, Su Mingwei, are you willing to share the supreme inheritance that your master passed down to me? If you are willing, I can give you some benefits. Because of the soul mark, Shui Yuruo believed Yi Chenfeng's words without a doubt. She gave a series of crisp smiles, and her faintly discernible peaks undulated up and down. She asked in a somewhat licentious manner. Her charming posture made people's imagination run wild. This, Yi Chenfeng gulped and said hesitantly. Su Mingwei, do you want to break through to the level 1 reverse Beast King realm before the martial art competition? Do you want to enter my profound underworld cave and receive the supreme inheritance of my profound underworld sect? Looking at Yi Chenfeng's hesitation, Shui Yuruo, who was very interested in his inheritance, tempted him. Sect leader, can you really help me break through to the level 1 reverse Beast King realm in a short time? Yi Chenfeng's eyes lit up as he asked excitedly. A terrifying tree demon has appeared in the territory of my profound underworld sect. I used the birthday banquet as an excuse to invite the sect leaders of the Illusion Destroyer Palace and Sky Silkworm Ridge to come. I want to gather the strength of the two forces to kill that tree demon and obtain its tree heart. As long as we can obtain the tree demon's tree heart and some spiritual items, we will have a high chance of refining a furnace of supreme grade heavenly pills. The profound underworld cave is the biggest secret of my profound underworld sect. Only direct disciples can enter. If you are willing to share with us the inheritance that the senior passed on to you, you will definitely get one when the supreme grade heavenly pills are refined. I will also allow you to enter the profound underworld cave and receive the inheritance of the profound underworld cave, Shui Yuruo said with a bright smile. All right, I am willing to share the supreme inheritance that my master passed on to me with sect leader and supreme elder. Although Yi Chenfeng was not interested in the so-called supreme grade heavenly pill, he was very interested in the mysterious underworld cave. In order to successfully obtain the right to enter the Longyuan Sacred City Martial Competition, he took out 2 jade scrolls from his Qiankuan ring. One of the jade slips recorded the supreme grade heavenly skill, Tai sword skill. The other jade slip recorded the cultivation method of the first 3 stages of the 6 meridians divine shield realm. When the soul power released by Shui Ruo seeped into the 2 jade slips handed over by Yi Chenfeng, she was immediately deeply attracted by the mysterious inheritance. She was so excited that an intoxicating blush appeared on her cheeks. Sect leader, supreme elder, if there is nothing else, I will take my leave. Yi Chenfeng looked at Shui Yuruo, who was so excited that she could not control herself, and said softly, All right, Su Mingwei, cultivate well. I will personally bring you to the profound underworld cave in a few days. Shui Yuruo kept the 2 jade slips as if she had obtained a treasure. The more she looked at Su Mingwei, the more pleasing he was to her eyes. Thank you, sect leader. After finishing his words, Yi Chenfeng did not stay any longer and disappeared into the night. Please check the address of the latest book. Swordsman Network. You can read the latest chapter of this book. Mobile reading website. Book address. In order to make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 525. Tree Demon? How could I forget about it? Yi Chenfeng sneered and muttered to himself as he left Shui Yuruo's courtyard in the dark night. Although he was not interested in the tree demon's heart, the tree demon's heart that had been nurtured for tens of thousands of years was very important to the spiritual fish. In order to awaken the bloodline inheritance of the spiritual fish, Yi Chenfeng was ready to snatch the tree demon's heart for the spiritual fish. The first rays of the morning sun shone in the east. The veil of the dark sky was removed, and a brand new day had arrived. Early in the morning, Shui Yuruo, Shui Honghen, Shangwan Hong, and Shi Tianshui, who were in a good mood, entered the Yu-Ming Mountains with the experts of their respective sects to search for the powerful tree demon in the depths of the mountains. Not long after they left the Xianming sect, a blurry shadow also left the sect quietly. The blurry shadow that followed Shui Yao and the others was Yi Chenfeng. The tree demon is very cunning, smart, and powerful. If we want to trap it, we have to work together and set up an inescapable net. Shui Yao, who had failed several times to capture the tree demon, advised the group as they went deep into the lush Yu-Ming Mountains with towering ancient trees. Sect Master Shui, what do you want us to do? We will do our best to cooperate with you. In order to capture the tree demon successfully, Qi Tianshui and the others were surprisingly cooperative. According to our investigation, we will be close to the valley where the tree demon resides after we climb over the mountain in front and travel for more than 2 hours. At that time, my master, Sect Master Shangguan, and Sect Master Qi will enter the valley to capture the tree demon. The others will block the 2 exits of the valley. If we fail to capture the tree demon, we will try our best to stop it. Otherwise, once it escapes, it will be difficult to find it again. Shui Yao said slowly. As she walked, she discussed the plan to capture the tree demon with the others. Soon, Shui Yao and the others came to a long and narrow valley where the tree demon resided. When the experts of the 3 sects were lying in ambush at the 2 exits of the valley, Shui Yao and the others broke into the valley. The plan is good. However, I am afraid that the 4 of you are no match for the tree demon. Yi Chenfeng retracted his aura and hid in the crown of a tree that was dozens of meters tall outside the valley. He released his powerful soul to cover the entire valley and locked onto the tree demon that had been scared away by the chaos divine wood. From the Trent's aura, Yi Chenfeng found that its strength had surpassed that of a Class 6 Beast King and was close to the level of a half-step Beast Emperor. It was not something that the 4 Class 5 Beast Kings, including Shui Yao, could deal with. What a terrifying Yao Qi. That tree demon is right in front of us. Everyone be careful. Shui Yao and the other 3 advanced cautiously for 1 incense stick's worth of time. When they arrived at the depths of the valley, they sensed a powerful demonic aura coming from the valley. The demonic aura was so strong that it fluctuated the air, making the 4 of them feel suffocated. Sect Master Shui, is that tree demon really only a 6th-rank Defiant Beast King? Shangguan Hong, who felt the pressure, revealed a grave expression. He sent a voice projection to Shui Yao, who was at the side. Master and I have fought with the tree demon several times in the past 10 years. We can confirm that its strength is only a 6th-rank Defiant Beast King, Shui Yao confirmed. But she did not know that the tree demon, which had devoured a large amount of martial artist's blood essence, had just completed a transformation. Its strength had already surpassed that of a 6th-rank Defiant Beast King. But the demonic aura of a 6th-rank Defiant Beast King is so terrifying. Qi Tianshui also sensed that something was wrong. He frowned tightly, and a trace of uneasiness grew in his heart. Lowly humans, I didn't expect that you would still dare to come and seek death. Just as Shui Yao and the other 3 were slowly approaching the tree demon, a ferocious and ruthless voice suddenly rang out from the depths of the valley. The powerful demonic aura surged out like an avalanche, shrouding the void and dyeing the blue void into a black color. No, this tree demon's strength is definitely above that of a 6th-rank Defiant Beast King. Looking at the demonic aura that filled the sky and feeling the terrifying aura of the tree demon, Shui Yao and the other 3 were shocked. Panic filled their eyes. Just as the 4 were about to make a prompt decision to retreat from the valley, the tree demon, which was exuding a towering demonic aura, rushed out like a black hurricane and intercepted them. Haha, 4 human experts of the 5th-rank Defiant Beast King realm. After devouring your blood essence, my strength will definitely improve further. Sensing the strength of Shui Yao and the other 3, an old face appeared on the tree demon's thick trunk and let out a ferocious laugh. Thousands of roots, which were as hard as spears, broke through the hard ground and formed a huge tree root prison, enveloping Shui, Wuo, and the other three who were shocked. Oh no, this tree demon's strength has probably reached that of a half-step beast emperor. It is not something that we can contend with. Don't get caught up in the battle. Try your best to break out. Shui Honghen, who was the strongest among the four, was shocked when he sensed the tree demon's strength after its transformation. He quickly took out the most precious treasure of the Xianming sect, the heavenly treasure Xianming stone. He spat 2 mouthfuls of blood essence into the Xianming stone and urged the Xianming stone to attack with all its strength, forcibly tearing apart the tree root prison. Shui Yuruo, Shang Guanhong, and Qi Tianshui did not hesitate either. They all took out their strongest weapons and unleashed their most powerful killing moves to attack the tree root prison. Lowly humans, stop your pointless struggle. With your strength, you won't be able to break out of my tree root prison. The tree demon let out a ferocious voice. A large number of tough roots counterattacked fiercely like long snakes, entangling Shui Yuo, Shui Honghen, and the others. Heavenly silkworm transformation. After attacking for a long time without any results, Qi Tianshui decisively performed a secret super skill. His strong body instantly expanded, and his cultivation level reached that of a 6th-ranked Defiant Beast King. Roaming Dragon Overlord Saber. Qi Tianshui roared. His soul power and Dao were infused into the middle-grade Heaven Artifact Battle Saber. Saber Radiance, that looked like swimming dragons, carried astonishing destructive power. It shattered a large number of tree roots and slashed on the tree root prison. The overbearing saber intent tore apart layers of tree roots and broke a hole in the tree root prison. Xianming Stone Attack. After Qi Tianshui broke a hole in the tree root prison, Shui Honghen continued to spit blood essence into the Xianming Stone. He controlled the Xianming Stone to grow bigger and bigger. Like a meteorite, it crashed into the holes that were closing up and tore the tree root prison again. Let's go. After the tree root prison was torn apart by the Xianming Stone, Shui Yuruo and the others did not waste this excellent opportunity. They all burst out and wanted to break out of the tree root prison. Right at this moment, the tree demon suddenly appeared outside the hole. The old face that appeared on the tree trunk let out a roar that pierced through clouds and cracked rocks. It attacked Shui Yuruo and the others like a tidal wave. PFFF. PFFF. Facing the roar attack released by the tree demon, Shui Yuruo and the others trembled. A large amount of blood spurted out from their mouths. They were sent flying into the prison. Demonic aura refinement. The next moment, the tree demon released a horrifying black demonic aura that surged into the tree root prison. It spun high and forcibly refined Shui Yuruo and the others. It wanted to refine them to death. Qi and blood combustion. Spiritual beast bloodline burn. With their lives hanging by a thread, Shui Yuruo and the others used their last trump card and went all out. They endured the refinement of the black demonic aura and crazily attacked the tree root prison. Just when Shui Yuruo and the others were in danger and could not extricate themselves, Yi Qinfeng appeared in the valley like a ghost. Please check the address of the latest book update. Chivalry website. You can read the latest chapter of this book. Mobile reading site. Book address. For the convenience of our next reading, you can click on the bookmark at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 526. What should we do? This tree demon is too powerful. We might be trapped here until we die. Shui Yuruo did not expect that the seemingly foolproof plan would have an accident. The four of them were in a desperate situation, and their minds were in a mess. Everyone, stop hiding your trump cards. If we delay any longer, we will all die here. Qi Tianshui, who had expended a lot of his soul power, shouted. Several precious offensive array talismans appeared around his body and attacked the tree root prison. Qi Tianshui used his offensive array talismans, and Shui Yuruo and the other two also took out a large number of offensive array talismans and attacked with all their might. Boom, boom, boom. As the offensive array talismans exploded, the destructive force kept tearing apart the layers of the tree root prison, blasting away the black demonic aura. Tree root entanglement. Seeing that the tree root prison was being blasted apart by the offensive array patterns, a large number of python-like tree roots wrapped around Shui and the other three, wanting to bind them. Break. As the black tree roots wrapped around their bodies, Shui and the other three unleashed their powerful soul power, forcibly tearing apart the black tree roots. However, when they used their strength to tear apart the black tree roots, the tree root prison, which had been blasted apart by the offensive array patterns, was repaired once again, trapping them in the tree root prison. After failing multiple times, Shui and the other three were draining more and more of their energy. A large amount of black demonic aura entered their bodies through their pores, eating away at their bodies and weakening their strength. Damn it, are we really going to die here? Shangwan Hong said unwillingly. Everyone, help me activate the Xianming Rock. We can only rely on the Xianming Rock to break out now. Shui Honghen controlled the Xianming Rock to revolve above his head, dissolving the black demonic aura. He said to Shangwan Hong and the other two who were panting and exhausted. All right. Shangwan Hong and the other two did not have a choice. They spat out mouthfuls of essence blood and fused it with the Xianming Rock, slowly activating the Xianming Rock's strongest defensive power. After fusing with Shui Honghen, Shangwan Hong, and the other three's essence blood, the Xianming Rock shone with an illusory, demonic light, dissolving the surging black demonic aura. Xianming Rock, break. The pale-faced Shui Honghen roared. He controlled the Xianming Rock, which was completely activated, to smash into the tree root prison. Chi! Chi! Under the most powerful impact of the Xianming stone, a large number of roots were shattered, turning into fragments that drifted into the air. The tree root prison lasted for 5 breaths of time before it was finally broken by the profound underworld stone's fierce attacks. Let's go. As soon as the gap appeared, Shui and the other three, who had consumed a lot of energy, took a deep breath. They burned their energy and blood to increase their speed and flew toward the gap. Lowly human, leave your life behind. The tree demon let out a strange cry and wanted to continue blocking them, sealing off their escape route. Look, however, at this moment, a strong sense of danger appeared and locked onto the tree demon, causing it to feel extremely uneasy and its movements to become slightly sluggish. Whoosh, whoosh. A series of ear-piercing sounds rang out as Shui and the other three seized this rare opportunity and successfully flew out of the gap in the prison, breaking out of the encirclement. Tree demon, give me your tree heart, and I'll let you go. Shui and the other three had just escaped when an arrogant and domineering voice rang in their ears. It was an order that could not be disobeyed. Hearing the domineering voice, Shui and the other three immediately looked over. However, when they saw a man wearing a black Marshal Dao suit and a silver mask walking over slowly, their hearts turned cold. Rank 3 Reverse Beast King. This person is here to die. Shui and the other three looked at each other and did not dare to stay any longer. They wanted to break out of the encirclement quickly. If you want my tree heart, exchange it with your life. Although the tree demon would not die without the tree heart, it would lose tens of thousands of years of cultivation without the tree heart. This was something that it would not allow. Roar! The tree demon let out a ferocious roar as its lush treetop shook violently and released a black demonic aura that swept toward Yi Chenfeng. 5 million kilograms of force break. Yi Chenfeng suddenly took a step forward as the energy from the spirit pearls in his 4 acupoints surged wildly into Yi Chenfeng's right arm. When he punched out, the space in front of Yi Chenfeng started to distort. The powerful punch directly crushed the black demonic aura, preventing it from getting close. What terrifying power! This person is really a rank 3 Defiant Beast King. The four people who were about to leave felt the destructive power erupting from Yi Qinfeng's fist and revealed a look of disbelief. The way they looked at Yi Chunfeng changed greatly. Swish! Swish! After the demonic aura attack failed, the tree demon continued to attack. A large number of black roots broke through the ground and attacked Yi Qinfeng. Black flame, heavenly fire, ancient extreme, heavenly lightning break. Thousands of snake-like black roots attacked. Black flame, heavenly fire, and ancient extreme, heavenly lightning spewed out from Yi Chunfeng's body, burning and destroying the black roots and injuring the tree demon. Heavenly fire, heavenly lightning. Where did this person come from? He actually managed to subdue 2 heavenly items. Feeling the destructive power of the black flame, heavenly fire, and ancient extreme, heavenly lightning, Shui, Yuruo, and the others were completely stunned. For a moment, they forgot to break out of the encirclement as they watched the shocking scene in awe. Roar! Roar! A large number of tree roots were burned by the black flame, heavenly fire, and shattered by the ancient extreme, heavenly lightning. The severely injured tree demon went berserk as its old face let out a world-shattering roar as it attacked Yi Qinfeng. Divine demon bloodline, burn. Divine demon body. Facing the sound wave attack released by the tree demon, Yi Qinfeng did not hesitate to ignite his demonic god bloodline. He continuously grew stronger and stronger, transforming into an extremely terrifying demonic god body. A power that could shock the heavens and earth leaked out from his body. Boom! The rolling sound waves blasted onto Yi Chunfeng's divine demon body, creating thousands of ripples and shattering large patches of air. The tree demon's sound waves were extremely terrifying, but after transforming into his divine demon body, Yi Chunfeng was comparable to a supreme-grade heaven artifact and could easily withstand the sound waves. Bang! Yi Qinfeng's body was filled with 20 million gene of force as he crushed the rolling sound waves. Under the dazed gaze of Shui, Yuruo, and the others, Yi Chunfeng approached the tree demon at an extremely fast speed. The fist that was filled with 20 million gene of force smashed onto the tree demon's sturdy trunk. The powerful force caused cracks to appear on the trunk. Strong, too strong. Even an emperor-level expert strength is only SOSO. That's right. I have never seen such a terrifying reverse Beast King expert. Today is really an eye-opener for me. Witnessing the scene of Yi Chunfeng shattering the tree demon's trunk with one punch, a trace of shock that came from the deepest part of their soul occupied their hearts. It gave them a surreal feeling. Since you're not willing to give me the tree core, I will send you into the wheel of reincarnation. As Yi Chunfeng spoke, he inserted both his hands into the tree demon's sturdy trunk. With 20 million gene of force, the terrifying force tore the thick trunk apart and tore the tree demon that was comparable to a half-step emperor-level expert into 2 halves, revealing the precious tree core. Black flame, heavenly fire, shatter. After tearing the tree demon apart in the most tyrannical manner, Yi Qinfeng immediately controlled the black flame, heavenly fire to burn the tree demon that had devoured a large amount of martial artist's blood into ashes. He then sealed the heart of the tree demon that was beating slowly. After killing the tree demon, Yi Qinfeng's sharp eyes swept over Shui, Yuruo, and the others who were like frightened birds. He summoned his soul wings and flew away in the void under their respectful gazes. Please check the address of the latest book. Swordsman website. You can read the latest chapter of this book. Mobile reading website. Book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support.